Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today we're going to be checking out the new Light Galaxy skill, which does make use of our new Heliacal Riser, which is... I think it has some potential and would probably, not be awful if the top decks weren't as strong as they are. I think in a Gaia-centric meta, with a lot of dragons going around, I don't think it's going to compete particularly well. But we want to test it. We want to see how it feels. We want to know exactly how close to being good it is. We want to kind of go... We want to see exactly how it feels in our hands, right? I think that is... It's going to make a lot of sense. I think, realistically... I don't like the skill as much as the Pyro skill, but the deck does have piercing, which just on its own makes the deck feel like a little bit more competent, so we will have to wait and see what happens. But first things first, let's see who we have in the chat. We have a human Portuguese dub fan, finally a good deck. We'll see about that. Hello, Portuguese dub fan. We got Darth Victor, hi Tomato, hello. We have Giorfio, hello Mr. Tomato Sesso, hello Mr. Giorfio Sesso. We have Grand Harrier, no anime indeed, no anime. I almost accidentally wrote bye. How's chat today? We got Promanicist in the chat. I don't think he's talking about a deck. Well, maybe we're talking about more than one thing. Right, we could be. In the back instrumental, drums. Oh my god, it's a tomato. Another one. How did I count down to you starting fully? I mean, we do tend to start on the hour, so it's not too difficult. Oh, huffing the copium. It's one of those things where, realistically, everything new that isn't Gaia is bad. Realistically. But bad is relative, right? It's bad compared to the stuff that's good. But compared to, if we, chop the best decks out of the format, and then we look at, a lower-powered format, I think some of these decks actually wouldn't be awful. Now, would they be good all of a sudden? Would they be, tier 1 if all of the best decks were moved out of the way? Are they tier 3 to, high rogue? Would they suddenly become the best decks if we got rid of the best decks? If they all got nerfed, for example? Probably not, but I think they would at least be somewhat playable. I think if Dragon and Gaia, especially, weren't around, we could probably see some of these decks being, tier 3, seeing some top 8s. Maybe not winning a tournament, but they could probably top 8, right? They could do okay, right? We'll see. We like to cope a little bit on these decks, just because we really like variety. We want to try out all these different decks. We want stuff to be at least somewhat playable. We want to find the way to break the deck, ideally. I kind of like the idea of not even running the equip. So what that would mean is, the skill would become a +1 every turn if we summon out a 4 and then get out a guy with 1500 defense. And that would be the entire skill. There would be nothing more to it. I mean, that in itself, isn't bad. But then you wouldn't run Riser, because then you... Wait, I assume you probably wouldn't run Riser, because then if you don't have a face-up spell card, you can't use his effect. Unless you just want to use him as a 2400 piercer that takes 2 tributes to get out. And then the only other monster you could use as 1500 defense, which would... Well, I suppose maybe you just don't even go for the pierce. You just literally would play, 3 Galactica Oblivion. And then just get out Oblivion again and again and again, and keep using that to get free pluses. But then in that case, is that even better than just the original skill that we already had? You give me something to think about. You definitely give me something to think about. The Galaxy... Galaxy deck is the new deck that I use most. I see, Portuguese stuff. I've literally not touched it. I know Parker's played it a bit. I have not touched it myself. With widespread ruin around, then sure, it could do good. Hello, Hikari. Welcome on in, Hikari. Human Portuguese dub fan, it's not bad. It's bad in comparison. I mean, yeah, you could say that about everything, though, right? Like, I ran the sword equip for fun in Gaia. I don't recommend it. I did see Manicist, like, doing quite well with it, so, you know. Bad by comparison. We're trying Galaxy. Wrong Galaxy, Ikari, wrong Galaxy. Parker got top 16 with his mean Galaxy. I will say, top 16 doesn't necessarily mean a ton. In the same way that top 8 also doesn't necessarily mean a ton. But by that same extended logic, top 4 doesn't necessarily mean anything. Winning a tournament doesn't necessarily mean anything. I always try to look for trends. So, like, when we get enough of a subset of data, then I can start to see the trends that are forming between it. And that's when I like to make, like, actual, like, informed opinions. Because right now, a lot of it is just, oh, we got a handful of tournaments, what's done okay? And we're kind of going from that. By that logic, then Gaia Matarian is just the strongest deck in the game, which it could be. It could be. That is definitely a conclusion you could draw from the information we have available. After playing the deck myself, I think it is extraordinarily powerful. I think it is maybe a little bit unfair. But would I immediately discount Dragon Fusion? I mean, possibly. Dragon Fusion hasn't been performing well in tournaments, but then again, it's... the amount of Dragon players in these tournaments has dropped significantly, and a part of that could just be they're bored of the deck. It could be they actually think it's bad now, or it's not good into the new decks, and it could just be they just want to play the new stuff because it's new. So it's really hard to, like, really pinpoint exactly where the meta is at any given time. We have Ninjetti Ursus. Hello, Ursus. I've been trying a trap-heavy version of Gaia featuring Double Block. It's not the worst. Double Block is a card that I've had my eye on for quite a long time. I actually don't hate Double Block. I think there is some merit to it because it is a lot like Majesty in that it just stops anything, which is kind of good. It's just like the requirement's a bit of a pain in the ass, right? So I have had my eye on it for a while, but maybe the Gaia skill is like what could enable it, but I don't know. It still seems like it needs a lot of setup. Yeah, you run 3 Oblivion and that's it. If your tribute summon Oblivion, you search Linak. I mean, that in itself, like, isn't bad, but then I guess the question then becomes, is that still better than having the search for Meteor Charge and Secret Order? Because it might be, it might not, I don't know. Vanishing pierces against 500 defense Matarian monsters, surely it's meta. Well, that's the thing, if it's Matarian, everything that has piercing is good into it, right? Even, like, spellcasters, given their 1600 attack, Seven's Road Witch now gets in for 11, which is actually kind of a relevant amount of damage to get through. If you open Vanilla plus Order, you mill Oblivion. You just have 3 Force that are easy to use. I mean, definitely, potentially. I think there is definitely something there. I suppose at that point, though, you have to go all in on Meteor Charge, right? And it's unsearchable Meteor Charge. You just have to hope you draw into it. But without Meteor Charge, I feel like the deck doesn't really do anything. Which isn't the end of the world. You don't need Meteor Charge to be searchable. It just kind of sucks if you don't find it. 3+ from Oblivion. No, you get 3 times at 1,000. Top 16 in Grand Prix means 3-1, which is a good result. It is, but it also depends what they played against. Did they brick? Because, like, I have now played Gaia decks in tournaments 3 times. 2 times I got to top 8, and 1 time I got to top 4. And every time I lost and I got knocked out was just a double brick game. So, like, even if you play what was arguably one of the strongest decks, you just can brick. Your opponent can just draw really well. You can just die out of nowhere. So, like, a 1-3-1 result, I'm never going to say that, 3-1 in this tournament, that guarantees this guy's deck is really, really strong. Like, it's enough for me to go, okay, I'll keep an eye on it. I'll see how it does. It's now on my radar. We'll see if it goes anywhere. But it's not enough for me to be like, oh, this is actually going to be really, really strong. Plus, Parko's build is a bit weird. We will be playing Parko's build a little bit today, because Parko did give us his build to try out. We will see how that goes. Parko's build is very much all in on spamming out normal monsters as much as possible, and doesn't lean as much into, like, the piercing aspect of the skill. So we'll have to see how exactly that plays in practice. I ran the Equip the Void, it didn't work because I kept milling it. I think dragons are slow into Gaia Matarian. Yes, I mean, dragons have always been a slow deck. Always been a slow deck. I always like looking at top cut plus 1 level. So top 8 So top 8 in a top 16. Yes. I typically do the same thing, but I think, Grand, you're basically the only person that does a top 16 cut most of the time. Again, you're the only person that really does a Swiss for the most part. It's generally just single elimination. And single elimination's cool. I do like single elimination as well. I wish we had maybe a few more Swiss tournaments. I don't know if anyone even wants to run Swiss. I know Swiss can be a bit more of an annoyance to run, depending on like who it is. Like, single elimination just kind of does itself. You just don't really have to worry about it. They are okay, but they could lose without even playing. We have Laser. Hello, Laser. The human factor unpredictability. The thing with the new skill versus old skill in Galaxy is that now Meteor is probably worse than Force because the attack and defense of Gaia are both pretty high. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But if your opponent is on the defensive, we do need a way to break through it. Now, again, if you are making the meta call that you're going to be playing against almost exclusively Gaia, Gaia doesn't tend to set cards unless they've bricked, right? If Gaia doesn't have a way to access their skill, so they don't have any 5 or higher, they will typically just set a bunch of stuff because they don't really have a play. If they have a 5 or higher, typically they will just make a board, try and get in for as much damage as they possibly can. Obviously, there's the difference between going first and going second as well to think about. But again, if you are playing against the Gaia, chances are they're going to end with 3 attack position monsters, at which point, yeah, Meteor Charge is not going to be as valuable. Now, changing Scent to defense and piercing over it is still okay, but it's only going to represent like an extra 500 damage against that deck specifically. So, I guess it just comes down to, are you playing for the field or are you playing just to beat the best deck? Or perceived the best deck? Saying that, when I played in the tournament yesterday, in Mono's tournament, I played against Hero Gaia, Metarian Gaia, Metarian Gaia? No, I think it was Hero Gaia, Metarian Gaia, Hero Gaia, Metarian Gaia. I think is my opponents in that tournament. So I literally played against nothing but Gaia. So just looking at that on its own, you're like, okay, maybe that's the way it goes. In Grand's tournament on Sunday as well, I played against exclusively Metarian Gaia. So my tournaments recently have been me playing against a lot of Metarian Gaia, which is it's not very diverse, I suppose, is the way to look at it. I use 1 Meteor Charge before I use Galactica Force. A new skill makes Force easier. Yes, 100%. 100% does. Okay, now we have the right emote. Hey, it's Galactica Oblivion emote. I gotta go. Got a ton to do. We'll see you, Victor. Thanks for stopping by. I feel you, bro. I so wish we could run the Adder in the Void deck, but it doesn't let it. Yeah, Void need more support. Right now, this meta is kind of terrible. The meta is still new, so, like, it's not awful for me yet. But I think with a GRF effectively started, I think people are going to get very sick. I think GRFs are really great for getting a lot of games very quickly. They are really bad for starting right after a new product has dropped. Because now, this is the fastest way to burn out of this product, right? You're going to get people playing 50, 100, 200, 500 in some cases games in a very small space of time, all on this, like, effectively one deck meta. Because most people are probably going to be playing the Gaia Metarian deck. And that is going to get boring. It's going to get tiring. It's going to get... ugh. So we have to really hope we get some changes after it. Good morning, Card Fighter. Hello, hello. And hello, Kavi-chan. Welcome, welcome. It's basically Gaia and his right-hand man, Asura-Star. Yeah, they basically just compete for who holds the most weapons. Because Gaia's got his 2 lancers, and he's like, haha. And then Asura-Star's like, hold my beer. I can carry 6 weapons. I mean, we should get an equip for it next month. They got a ton to choose from. Yeah, I was trolling. I don't even run Meteor Charge. I prefer Force. Meteor Charge gives 2 attacks against defense monsters. But again, it comes down to, is your opponent going to be on defense position monsters, I suppose. Like, when we were playing the Pyro deck, we found that we were actually doing okay into Gaia. And a big reason we were doing okay into Gaia is because they weren't setting that often. So we just got to... They go 3 monsters in attack. We go, okay, 3 monsters in attack. I'll reduce your board. I'll swing over. And we won a lot of games because of that. But there will be some decks, like, you know, dragons are a good example. Dragons will just set 3 every turn until they get everything they need, or until you leave a high attack position monster on the field. So, like, it depends what the field is, right? This makes me want to build dragons. I mean, potentially. It's going to get stale fast without skill changes. Yes, Go Hook Up is probably going to be Gaia, Psychic, Dragon specifically, yes. I would even go a step further and say I think it's going to be mostly dominated by the 3 different Gaias with a strong emphasis on Metarian and E-Hero. I think Metarian is probably going to see the most play because just it's going to be the top 100, even though I think E-Hero is probably more popular because people like heroes. And then Pure Gaia will probably still get some tops, but I don't think it will be anywhere near as the other 2. Then, again, Dragon, I think, is going to be up there. I think Psychic will be up there. But I think Psychic is a bit of a weird deck because it requires a lot more, like, thinking. And I know that it's hard to, like, really emphasize this, but, like, different decks in Rush do require different amounts of brain power. Now, the difference in complexity of those decks might only be very minor. So, for example, Gaia feels very simple. There's not really a lot to think about. You just have to think about how many bosses you can end on, what is the line at the end of the day. It's not super complicated. So let's say that's like a complexity of like a 2 out of 10. Then I would say Psychic is more like a 4 out of 10. The deck does require a bit more brainpower to play, and that can get taxing if you want to play a lot of games back to back to back to back to back. So I would always personally recommend always playing the simpler decks. And for me, that would be Gaia and Dragons. Those decks are very, very simple. They're very, very easy to play. So if I'm going to go like ladder grinding and I want to switch my brain off for the most part, because you still have to be attentive. You still have to make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. But Psychic is a very quick way to burn out. This happened to me when I played Vanguard Zero. Just as, I think it was Link Joker had just come out in that game. Only a handful of people in chat probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But Link Joker, just compared to a lot of the rest of the field, required a lot more thought. It was a lot of resource management. You had to like plan turns ahead. You had to think, right, if I lock this, do I lock this? If I lock that, how many attacks have I got coming back? I need to make sure I have enough intercepts and I have enough perfect guards in hand to be able to do absolutely everything I need. And after just like a day of grinding ladder with that deck, I was exhausted. I was like just mentally drained from playing that deck. And I was like, I'm just going to go back to playing Unga Bunga at the end of the day. Just because if I'm grinding a ladder like 16 hours in a day, I need something that's simpler to play. Again, that might just be a problem that I have, but yeah, I don't really see other decks being able to compete with these 3. Yeah, that's basically how we look at it, right? Not gonna lie, I thought Hero Gaia would dominate. Hero Gaia is good. Don't get me wrong. It's a fine deck, but 1, the hero fusions are level 6. Which means they're not immune to like anything, right? You can get, for example, slimed. So that's not a great start. There was something else. There was something else that was important that you could do to level 8 and lowers that you get to dodge if you use Metarian. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But Metarian, in general, just so happened to have a little card called Ashura Star. And it can gain the attack of all of your warrior monsters. So if you summon like a big 3100 attack Burst Wingman, or 2 of them, and your opponent just sucks all that attack out, that's pretty good. As well as Vritra also can just destroy dragons. And Gaia makes dragons as some of their bosses, which is also pretty good. So Metarian just sort of, in a way, Metarian hard counter, especially the Metarian Gaia build, which is just better, a hard counter the like hero build. And I think that is going to have a big detrimental effect on like heroes' viability and playability. Except maybe some Light Dark Galaxy, but they look like worse versions of Gaia. Yeah, basically, that's how I look at it as well. Unfortunately, there were complications due to the fact that my cat was being such a fighter. Aww. I hope the cats are alright. I'm very much an animal lover. I'm very, very much an animal lover. I was actually this morning looking after my grandparents' dog, and I absolutely adore like all animals. So I really hope everything goes alright there. Hopefully next time turns out better. I think I will play Dragons and GRF just because I despise mirrors and they will be all Gaia Metarian. Yeah, I mean, Dragons potentially are still going to be pretty good, right? If you're playing basically a bunch of high defense monsters, Gaia is going to get that direct attack for that 32, so you've always got to be worried about going below 32. beyond that, they're going to just be piercing over you with, like, potentially, again, also 32s and 26s. So if you're playing high defense monsters, you won't necessarily die really quickly, and you can always, like, potentially bite back. It's just going to come down to, like, how often your attack's going to, like, connect. Because I still think Dragon can have a really good matchup. I think I've actually seen a lot of people complaining that Dragons are really bad into Gaia. And I think if Gaia get the high roll, they will just kill you through anything and not really give a shit. But if they don't, I actually think Dragons aren't that bad. I think it comes down to the way you play the matchup. Like, does the Gaia player just go aggro, get as much damage in, and then try and finish them off on the following turn? Or do you just play for the OTK? Like, you know the Dragon player most likely isn't going to do anything if you don't summon a boss. So you just bide your time until you get everything you need to try and just absolutely one-tap them, which is also potentially a viable strategy. Batarian is so happy that the meta is naturally warriors and dragons, exactly. Card Trader refuses to give me copies of Rhythmic Performer. How dare he? How dare he? You should formally complain to Konami. What is a 10 out of 10 rush deck? What in terms of complexity? So first off, I usually use the scale to compare to, like, speed. So, like, most combo decks in speed that have 100 different lines, I would consider, like, a 10 out of 10 deck. In terms of comparing that to a rush deck, the most complicated it ever gets is, like, a 5, maybe a 4, like 4.5 to a 5, probably. And I would say the most complicated rush decks are the decks that have you, like, spinning a load of plates. They're the games where you, like, you play your whole hand, and then you just keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. So that'd be things like Berry Fresh a little bit. That would be things like Celeb Rose. I'd like to say Secret Investigator, but Secret Investigator really isn't that difficult. Trying to think, like, what the other, like, decks where you spin a lot of plates. I mean, there aren't actually that many, to be fair. Like, those ones do really stand out as, like, having these, like, intricate loops, and you have to, like, play in certain ways, and if you make a misplay, suddenly you've, like, cut yourself off from the rest of the combo, and you have to abruptly end your turn. Oh my god, Vanguard Zero mentioned. Vanguard Zero was fantastic. I absolutely adored that game. I mean, it's basically why I play... Well, I played Vanguard Zero because I played Duel Links, and I got back into Duel Links, I guess, partially because of... it's basically all Rush Duel, but a part of that was I really like Vanguard Zero as well. I wish Early Collection had Duelist of the Roses. I mean, we're expecting might be the wrong word. I would hope that we would get a follow-up to the Early Days Collection, which has, like, some of the console games. But we will have to wait and see. They are warriors too. Oh, the Princess Trap. Oh, Recital. I think Beam should be hit even if the current format you don't need it. I think it's hard to justify hitting type change Beam unless people start playing it in Gaia Matarium, which I don't think you even need it. So it's a difficult one. Hello, Duan. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Beam. Welcome, welcome. And hello, VN Penguin. Welcome, welcome. So with that all caught up, I think it's probably best that we jump into doing some of the yappier bits of the stream before we jump into some actual tournament play. The first thing I want to take a look at is the tier list update for speed. Obviously, you know, we're primarily going to be a rush here, but we do like to keep up to date with the speed. We do really enjoy speed. We did play a lot of speed up until this project release, so we are kind of in on the speed at the moment. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, GGXEs. Welcome, welcome. I remember when Dark Galaxy was good against Batarion because you just pierced until they didn't draw fusion. Now they don't have this problem anymore. Yes, it's funny as well because every time I play against a Gaia Matarium, they'll just open like Actor, like Sword Dancer or Serpainter, and then Fusion. They'll just like hard open the 3, and I'll be like, back in the day when this was a dedicated deck, y'all never found your Fusion on turn 1, but now you're finding it constantly. And I'm like, what has changed? Why is your deck now more consistent now that it should be less consistent, except when using the skill that should fix the consistency, but you don't need the skill, and now the skill is more of a, I'm going to absolutely kill you this turn, rather than a, okay, I found my Fusion, I can now play the game. It's very interesting. This is a boring list, to be fair. I mean, we haven't got anything new, right? So it's just like heroes going down. I think this is quite a big, like, change. I mean, we can see what Giorgio says about it. We've got it right here. Heroes have been demoted to tier 2. Despite their good tournament results, they are on the same level as they aren't on the same level as Salamangreat Great anymore because of their low consistency. Not opening Stratos or a way to draw just means losing the game most of the time. It also means that Effect Veiler on Stratos hurts much more. I mean, this was basically what we expected, right? As soon as, like, they got their hits, it was like, oh, well, we're taking the consistency out, so... Additionally, losing access to limit 3s means that the deck needs to see higher impact techs, mainly Floodgate type effects like Different Dimension Ground, Necro Valley, and Hollowed Life Barrier. Hollowed Life Barrier is like, I don't know, man. I never like it when the counter to the best deck can be used in the best deck. It always bothers me so much. It's like, don't worry, guys. We can Hollowed Life Barrier them. We can stop them from killing us. And then it's like, yeah, by the way, they also have Hollowed Life Barrier. It's like, ah! Heroes are still good, but you need to draw both engine and specific text to actually win the Salamangreat Great matchup. Hello, Mr. Tomato. Hello, chat. Hello, Sakadetsu. Welcome on in. It just looks like, for the most part, people are saying that consistency's gone down. I mean, Dwan's in chat. We'll read this. Despite the consistency loss, heroes are still doing well. Most lists are including high impact techs like Different Dimension Ground and Necro Valley, as the deck needs some sort of equalizing going first to have a chance against Salamangreat Great. This also means the deck can't tech for every matchup, forcing it to make sacrifices in deck building. And that was one of the strengths originally, was that you could just tech for any matchup, so it makes sense. No changes pretty much anywhere else. Is there anything particularly interesting in here? It looks like this is primarily... I kind of wanted the battling boxes. Before the KC Cup, some players believed that battling boxes had a decent matchup against Salamangreat Great, but that didn't turn out to be the case. While the deck should consistently beat Lyrilusk, it doesn't offer any advantages beyond that. Its tournament results have also been underwhelming, making it feel like it's not actually as strong in the current environment. But the boxes are so cool! They should just get a bump up just for being the style points. Oh, look, it's Grand Harrier. Thank you for always TPC for offering your opinions. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, they're all absolutely amazing. I mean, this is basically what Bentai, Norrentino, Paris, Giorfio, and Dwan. So, huge shout out to them. I guess the next thing is going to be... We'll just go over the new OCG cards that got announced, because there are some pretty cool ones. We do have the next product coming out being the Cyber Dragon Chimera Tech Structure deck and the Harpy Lady one. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. We got one comment, and it was just shitting on them. Well. So we got Cybernetic Overflow. So when your opponent normal summons a monster, you place 2 Cyber Dragons with different levels from your graveyard on the bottom of your deck in any order. Choose 2 cards on your opponent's field and destroy it. Now, this card is potentially okay. Now, the issue with this card in this current meta is only on normal summon. If this was on normal or special summon, this would be incredible. This would actually be nuts. But it's not. Alito Bros is over. Battling boxes are cool, but sadly they kind of suck. No, they don't suck. They're just not as good as Salamangreat Great and Hero, right? They're still fine. Trust. Keep huffing the copium. No, they're fine. They're strong. They have good forms of interaction, kind of. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this requires a bit of setup. It's only on normal. The benefit is you can choose any 2 cards. So there is probably still some merit to playing this. You probably will. I don't know. Would you even play this in Sidra? The biggest issue with Sidra is you play it as an OTK deck, basically. Like, in the OCG, you can play this alongside, you know, Jinzo. You can play it alongside Heavy Storm and Giant Trunade. You can play it with Mirror Innovator. There's just so many things you can do to turn off what your opponent's got, give yourself a load of attack, give it all piercing or double attack, use like Power Bond to try and like double your attack up and just try and get in for like absolutely ridiculous amounts of damage. Proto doesn't work here though. You're not wrong, but there are other cards that treat themselves as Cyber Dragon while in the graveyard, so it will work with those ones. But this is like, I mean, in Duel Links, this card would go hard, right? This would go so hard. But in OCG, I don't know if this will see play. I think this would see play in kind of a more defensive kind of control style of the deck, where you try to weather the storm and then bite back every turn. But this is also now competing for space with like Shady, which is just... The main benefit of Shady is you can use it on special summon. So if your opponent just slams down a fusion monster, you can just flip it down, which is really good. So I don't know if this is going to see a ton of play. I will definitely experiment with it and see how it feels. But generally, if a card is only on normal summon, it doesn't end up seeing much play. So, we'll see. Again, the trade-off is really good. Popping 2 cards is really strong. What cards have Cyber Dragon name in the graveyard? I believe we have one... We don't have any of them here. Nashta, I believe, is Cyber Dragon while in the graveyard. I mean, we can get up our... We can open our EDO and check, right? If we go Cyber Dragon. Let's go and find out exactly which ones. It's not going to be Stealth, is it? It'll be... Processor should be. Oh, we also should change this to pre-release. So Processor is not Cyber Dragon in the graveyard. So we got Zwei. So Zwei is level 4 that's treated as Cyber Dragon in the graveyard. Nashta is not Cyber Dragon while in the graveyard. So it's literally just Zwei at the moment. But we still have more reveals, but we'll see. Why do I feel like I won't be able to play against Cyber Dragon? I mean, we'll see, we'll see. Damn, so you're telling me Forever Freeze is bad? No way. Forever Freeze saw a little bit of play in OCG, like at the start, but hasn't, like, much since then. Is Rush Cards IO still works? It does, but it's incomplete and it hasn't been updated. So, So yeah, basically, if you want to use the trap, you've got to get... Because this one isn't... I don't think any of the bosses become Cyber Dragon while in the graveyard. Yeah, so it's literally just, at the moment, Zwei and regular Cyber Dragon. They're the only 2 that can trigger this. Which makes it maybe even a little bit less likely that you play it. Hello, Kim friend. Welcome on in. By the way, even in the KCC, the highest place battling boxer was like 40-something place. And if I recall correctly, he played them until 20k and then switched to Gemini. Yeah, but... we still love the boxers, right? So we still have to root for them. Also, it's one of those things where I feel like there will probably be a battling boxer champion that keeps playing them despite them being kind of mid. And I always like that sort of thing. Like, Dwan was that for a while, right? When Dwan was playing Dark Fluid. And I feel like everyone else had, like, stopped playing it, but Dwan was still going on it. And Dwan was still, like, topping. He was still performing really, really well on it. I always like it when that happens, when you get these, like, players that just absolutely champion a specific deck. And they just keep doing well with it, despite the fact it's not appearing to be super good in the current meta. And I think Battling Boxes is going to be that sort of deck, where it will still be, like, top 8ing. It might even still top 4 occasionally. But, like, it's not going to be consistently winning. I think it's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Oh, no, an ad break. Not an ad break. No. Well, we don't really want to continue until the ads are finished, so we will just kind of chill for a bit. But Cybernetic Overflow, I think this card... I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't see a lot of meta relevance. I think getting the 2 dragons into the graveyard isn't actually that difficult. Just because we're, at the moment, OCG is in a very mill-heavy environment. We do play a lot of cards that just turbo the graveyard as hard as possible. And one of the best legend monsters in the game right now is Card Trooper, which has been changed for Rush, so that you can just immediately, as its effect resolves, send it to the graveyard to draw a card. Because we can't have... like, when it's sent to the graveyard, draw a card as an effect, because triggered effects aren't in Rush outside of traps. So we can't have monsters that trigger on death, unfortunately. Enjoy my coffee while we wait for the ads. Ads are such a pain. I wish I could just turn them off, to be honest. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate the revenue, but it's not much revenue. And a minute and a half of not being able to watch the stream kind of sucks. But we are back. Welcome back, everyone that got caught in ad hell. Next up, we have Harpy Bell. This is from the Harpy structure. And by the way, comparing the two, the Harpy structure looks so much better than the Cyber Dragon structure. Like, genuinely, it looks like the card quality is so much better. Even the reprints are better in the Harpy deck compared to the Cyber Dragon deck. But with Harpy Bell, level 2, 500, 500. During the turn this card was normal summoned, choose a level 2 winged beast monster in your graveyard, special summon it to your field face up. If you special summon a normal monster with this effect, so obviously this is intended to be used with Harpy Girl, you can choose one face down card on your opponent's field and destroy it. Now, is this going to be worth playing? Is it worth playing Harpy Girl, which is almost objectively a bad card, to sometimes get this effect off? Because obviously that Harpy Girl just has to be in the graveyard for this to work. We get a free +1, and then we -1 our opponent. If you look at it card economy-wise, it's actually pretty good, but it is kind of specific. It only pops face-down cards, but that's also fine, because typically you are going to see a lot of back row, so you will just be able to pop one of them. I think this card will probably see some play. I don't know if it will make it into, like, the good meta build, but... Hello, CZ. I was watching Sean... stream a while back, and his stream was 6 to 8 ads every 10 minutes, it felt like. Ugh. We have at the moment set to 1 minute 30 ads every hour. And the reason we have it set to that is because it gets rid of pre-rolls. So when you join the stream, you shouldn't just immediately be hit with an ad. That's the trade-off, but I've never been a big ad fan, personally. So next up, we have Cyber Kirin. So this card is kinda bad. So... we can send this card, if you field to the graveyard for the rest of the turn, you take no damage from effects. So this is basically only relevant if your opponent is playing Magic Cylinder. So how do you actually make good use of this? So you could just slam it down, use it, go for the OTK, and just win, right? But why wouldn't you just play a monster that could pop a back row instead? I guess this is better if your opponent's got like 3 sets. You're almost certain that they have Magic Cylinder down, and you don't want to get like reverse OTK'd, I guess. I don't know, Cyber Kirin is, like, not fantastic IMO. Because, again, you have to know your opponent is playing that Legend Trap. Ideally, you have to know that they've set it onto the board, and then it becomes hyper value. But if that exact situation doesn't come up, it's kind of mid. And this card doesn't do anything else, right? It doesn't plus us. It's not a high value body. Like, it's just kind of a nothing card. So I don't think Kirin is probably going to see much play in a competitive level. And then the last card we're going to look at doesn't actually have any text yet. So this is an interesting one. It's a level 3, 1100 attack, 100 defense card. This is a new promo, but again, we don't know what it is. It's a fire monster. We don't even know what type it is. It could be a beast, it could be a pyro. No idea. But it includes a monster that's excellent affinity with Yuga's 7's road deck. So this could even be a spellcaster. I mean, if we look at it, look at the image. This is kind of the 7's armor on it. So this also does look like one of the... I can't remember what the card is called, but there's like a fire dog that is a spellcaster monster, so it could be like a retrain of that. But it will be interesting to see what happens. But now we're going to do a little bit of an update to the meta, because we have had a few more tournaments, which means we do have more tournament results. And as we can see here, it is looking like Gaia Metarion is doing quite well. In fact, even in the tournament yesterday, we had 3 Gaia Metarion make top 4, one of them being me. But we did see Giorfio take the win with Psychic, which I think a lot of people had written off at this point, saying that Psychic is not really in the meta anymore, Gaia is super good into it. But is Giorfio proving people wrong? So if we go down and take a look at our little pie chart here, we can see Gaia Metarion. Bear in mind, we have split this up because I think it is important to assess which versions of the deck are performing super, super well. Gaia Metarion itself is 49.1%. Now, if we were to add E-Hero Gaia to the mix here, we would be adding an extra 7%. So we're looking at like 60%, which is kind of disgusting. Oh, I say E-Hero Gaia, it's just regular Gaia. So 60% of the meta right now, bearing in mind again, it's still early days. We still don't have a ton of data, but still 60% being Gaia is actually insane. Guys, shall I get Harpy Dragon or third 7 Magician for Dream Ticket as meta-wise or ladder farming? Harpy Pet Dragon is probably not really worth picking up. I can't imagine it's going to be good in the future unless we get a skill that makes it good. Whereas 7's Rogue Magician will be good going forward, right? So that's like my opinion on it. But we have now got Psychic making up 18%. Dragon's making up 14%. So like not a huge difference, but there is still a difference there. Then we have Gaia, E-Hero, and then the Sea Serpent and Noodles, which have kind of like, I feel like crept their way up. And I don't know if we'll see Noodles or Sea Serpent in top 4 again during this meta, but you never know, you never know. But the big takeaway here is that we have been seeing more Psychic Fusion in the last few tournaments cropping up, and less Dragon. Like, we've got some Dragons here, right? We've got some Dragons making top 8, but in terms of actually top 4ing, Psychics are doing quite well. We've only actually had 2 dragons, or 3 dragons total, make top 4, where we've now had 4 Psychic Fusion. Thank you, Tomato. No problem, no problem. So, looking at, like, early tier list, if we were going just off the data, right? Like, Gaia, solo tier 1. Tier 2 would be, what, Dragon and Psychic. Then tier 3 is, like, Gaia, Pure, E-Hero. Probably throw Gaia Hero in there, just because it's got a lot of representation in top 8. And then, like, everything else is kind of rogue, right? That's how I would probably divvy this up. But, again, that's like, it's still early days. We haven't even had the cards for a week yet. But it is interesting. It is very interesting. I'm interested to really see what happens to Pure Gaia. If Pure Gaia... Because, like, is anyone even really playing Pure Gaia? I think in most of the breakdowns that we've had, we've seen, like, 1, 2, maybe 3 Pure Gaias going around. Everyone's on the Metarian and Hero variants. So, I wonder if Sidra is still decent. I mean, it could be. We're not seeing it, right? No one's playing it in tournaments. Which is always going to be a big thing, right? The Rush Duel tournament scene isn't huge. Like, it's still doing okay, but it's not huge, right? We're not getting 100+ play tournaments, realistically. So, we're not going to get a large influx of players playing a massive variety of decks. That's just not how it's going to go. The deck basically just disappeared. You can pop Gaia Fusions with Assault. I mean, yeah, Gaia... So Cyber Dragon is really good at building a board, and they're really good at breaking a board. That's kind of their big thing. They're not typically super good at getting a load of damage in. But if Gaia goes first, you should be able to... You know, Cyber Dragon should be able to break their board. Again, you're not going to take a ton of damage back, because you're going to be ideally getting 3 biggish bodies onto the board, so... Well, that's not concerning at all. Hello, Alpaca. I mean, we'll have to see where this goes. Because, again, it's still week 1. It's still new toy syndrome. People are still going to be wanting to play with the new stuff and not playing the older stuff that was doing well. This happens every time a new box comes out, right? Like, well, I say that. If we come back to here. So this was the Red Boot boost. So this is when Dragons were also new. But we still, like, Psychic didn't get any new card. But we still saw, like, Psychic, Psychic, Psychic... Psychic, Psychic, Psychic. And then, the script flipped, right? Suddenly Dragon was winning a lot more than Psychic during the second half, after like the first week or so. And I think it really does go to show that after that first week, sometimes things do sort of stabilize. People work out the correct builds for stuff. People stop just kind of throwing shit at the wall, and they've kind of worked out what sticks already. But, with that said and done, I think it's maybe time we jump in. So we did end last time on a bit of a loss streak. We did get a 4 loss streak playing the Pyro deck, which was a bit of a shame. But before that, we had a bit of a win streak. We did have a 5 win streak before that, so it kind of swings and roundabouts. The list we're going to be playing today is going to... Actually, before we do this... we've already jumped in. I was going to say, I did want to show off a replay of the deck that we were playing on in a tournament yesterday. But for now, we'll jump into this. And okay, we've immediately got Dwan at gold 3. Hello, Dwan. I mean, we're playing meme, so we're probably going to lose really hard. But let's see what happens. Please have mercy, it's my speed account. That you're probably playing Gaia. And even if it's a speed account, if you're on Gaia, you're probably still going to beat us. I don't know if you know this. We're playing Vanishing Heliacal Riser. Alright, let's because until we've used the skill a few times, we will probably make some mistakes. So we have to normal summon a level 4. The rest of that doesn't matter. And then if we use the skill after summoning a 4, it will dump it into the graveyard unless we summon a monster with 1500 or 2500 defense. So, I guess we summon out a 4. Is there any reason to even use Ore? I guess it gets us to that. I think I'd rather almost just have the shooter as the body. Because we're going to get the plus to our hand anyway, because we're summoning out Riser. This will then get us an extra plus. If we do this, this then lets us use the skill. We'll grab this to hand. Oh yeah, your opponent needs a monster. Right, that is our first mistake. We've never played Xiphos before, even in the other formats, so... So it's literally just 200 attack, and we can shuffle a card back. Do we even care about shuffling a card back? I don't think we do. We will just go to battle, and we'll just see what we got. So we still get that 2400 Pierce, which is quite nice. Oh, okay, this is literally... I mean, this is probably the exact Gaia structure, right? I would imagine this is the exact Gaia structure. Oh, damn, we like Galaxy today? Yes, we are. Am I the only one that uses Enforcer instead of Bright Sentinel? Maybe. Maybe we just search Linek? Well, if I had known... if I had, like, registered the fact that Xiphos can't be equipped, I wouldn't have searched it. But we did. We did make the mistake. Is that Baj in the chat? I came because I heard Gaia Assault is coming. Of course, of course. Finally repaired my internet, so that's New Galaxy. It's the Loner? Ah, well, it's not the Loner, is it? Because it's got Goat in it. So Polly is going to come down. So we are going to take a crap ton of damage here. We might even just die. So Swift comes down. He knows what our back row is, so he knows he doesn't need to pop it. We do get the free plus. Hopefully it was just a normal monster, like a normal summon that you can't play. That's our best case scenario. Straight to battle. Okay, we will lose our Heliacal Riser. We will lose Vortex Shooter, and then we'll take another 15 to the dome. Now, 2 back row is a little bit spooky. Okay, we will go ahead and summon out Strange Traveler. We'll get out the Bright Sentinel. We will activate Traveler effect. I guess we kind of just want to try and kill if we can. So I'm going to reduce Dragorite here. We'll Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon. I mean, we have everything we need, right? So we just grab Linek. Summon. Summon. Activate Force. Put this back. This back and this back, probably. 1, 2, 3. We'll flip over Xiphos. Equip! Cha! Go get him, champ! Boo! Boo! Okay, with that in mind then, I guess we just clear what we can. I think getting rid of those is more important here. Welcome to the Oblivion. What sleeves are you going to want here, a human Portuguese dub fan? 2 boys. We're going to tribute them to summon out probably battle-tested Gaia. And that is lethal. We are just dead. Wait, are we playing double goat? Or did we put a goat back? So now we just use the skill on the Gaia, attack directly, and that is the game. And there's nothing we can do because we didn't draw any trap cards. Duan, why are we spinning plates, mate? We've already used the skill, haven't we? Wait, have we not? We haven't used the skill, right? No, we haven't used the skill. Just use the skill. Okay, we'll just get out of here. If Duan's gonna sit here wasting time, we're not gonna sit here and just let him. Now, the first person to say what Rush, also called in Portuguese, dub of the Sevens, can choose my sleeves. Alright, we're just gonna jump into another game, I think, then. Actually, what we're gonna do GG? That was not a GG'd one. You you were sat there spinning plates, wasting our time. If we searched Linak, we could have lived. We did search Linak. Are you saying if we searched Linak on turn 1? I mean, yeah, potentially. But we didn't know that we couldn't equip the spell, right? Because the logic was, equip the spell, do more piercing damage, get an extra free draw. That's what we were going for, but we didn't register that we couldn't equip. So this was our quarterfinal match from yesterday. I just wanted to show this off because we tried out a tech and it wasn't a good tech, but it worked. And I think that's worth like showing it off. So first off, we kind of brick here. We don't really have any play, so we're not in a fantastic position. So our opponent fuses into the Conqueror of Champions. They activate it to pop a back row, which I think was a bit of a weird choice, but I can kind of get it. Adds the Avian to hand. Adds the Polymerization to hand. So now it's like, okay, we're making a second fusion. The logic is we're going to try and clear the entire board and not really get much damage in. What's up, Jofio? So then they pop the back row, activate Monster Calling, discard, bring back, summon out another battle-tested Gaia. We forgot? What did we forget? What's wrong, Jofio? What's wrong? The one said you're not playing legend spells? Maybe. I mean, we're using the list that Parko sent us. We are one-to-one using Parko's thing. So if we're not using legends, it's because Parko wasn't using legends. So yeah, we draw another hand. Unfortunately, once again, we had no way to get to a level 5. So we just had to literally pray here. We did win the 50-50 and our negate attack didn't get popped. So then we do this. This is our bad tech. So we have Kime Luna, the Dark Shifter. Activate the Polymerization. Combine the two together into Matari and Ashura Star. It's the list. Pretty sure Parker was on point. He might have been. I'm just going by the list that he specifically sent me on Discord. I mean, I can go and have a look now. We have the technology. Where is Parko's DM? Okay. The DM is no longer there. Alright, Matari and Ashura Star. Kime Luna is going to change those both to defense, activate the Polymerization, combine into the Kimitarasu. Kimitarasu's effect is going to pop both of the monsters. We set Tribute over for Cursed Dragon, and then we can just swing in for game. Obviously, if any of these back row were anything, we were cooked, but we knew that it basically had to be the Legend, or it had to be Majesty, otherwise we were fine, right? Because we had 2 level 9s. I mean, yeah, we can go and put Pot of Greed in. That's completely fine. I just literally hard copied exactly what Parker sent me. Pot of Greed. Alright. Then we'll go ahead and delete that. We don't need that. There was Celestial Warrior support? No. Why would there be Celestial Warrior support? Previous song name. It was Undefeatable from Sonic Frontier. Alright, Zoinho. Let's see what's in here. Okay, Zoinho is playing an archive skill. I mean, like the Moon Lady for the replay, when was that introduced? That was reduced, that came out in the Celestial Warrior box, where Yamiterasu came out. So it was a mini box, like 2 boxes ago. So this is probably just Gaia again. We can dump something to grave, but we can't get anything else beyond that. If we play defensive, he's just going to pierce over us for a crap ton. So I think there's no reason to not just go aggro, realistically. I guess we could just send this just to get the plus. I don't even know if that actually helps us very much. I guess it kind of does, because it means it will hide our back row. Oh, you need 3 more Galaxy. Okay, again, learning pain is... we haven't used any of these cards before because they're all shit. So we're gonna keep doing that for a little bit until we get used to what the cards do. And then this is gonna have a 1500 defense, and we will just attack over it, and then we'll pass. So the card in hand could just be any normal summon. Kime Luna, yes. I really know my Rush Duel Links, as you can see. Alright. Let's see what our opponent's got for us. Unfortunately, this opening was really bad. If we had opened a Heliacal Riser, we'd actually be in a really good spot, but we did not. We still don't have one, so we just have to rely on just punching and hoping. Which is never really where you want to be. I can get a... I mean, is this the turn it's summoned? Turn you normal or special summon this card. So that's just dead now, so we might as well just tribute over. Then we can summon a 4. This then lets us use our skill if we want to. What do we even get? We probably still just dump something. Although we don't get to choose now, do we? Because we can only add normal monsters because we've already got the equip spell. I don't actually want a normal monster in my hand. So I guess we just don't use the skill because we're not going to get piercing anyway. So we'll just go ahead and get this out. Or summon this. I mean, I could activate this. Does it threaten lethal, I suppose is the question. Be 900 times 2. That's what... I mean, if that swings over that, then it does threaten lethal. I guess we'll go for it. You can get another Oblivion. I don't really need another Oblivion is the only thing. I mean, we just hope his back row is nothing, right? Okay. Okay. For follow-up? Potentially. The only issue that I worry about is if I search out the Oblivion and then I draw a Heliacal Riser, or I draw 2 Heliacal Riser, God forbid, then we're in such a bad position that we basically just give up the game. That's the only reason I don't like searching the boss there. If we had, like, a bigger hand, like a second normal summon that we can guarantee, I'd feel more comfortable doing it. But I suppose... Nah, because you still can't get the search unless you get out one of the bosses. So... Right, we'll save that replay, though. It's fine. I don't know how many times we're going to beat Gaia today, so... There we go. Got there in the end. Yeah, we shouldn't have done the equip early, but again, we didn't read Galacterial Ore, so I always grab the equip just to have it set. Yeah, but again, we already dumped the equip on turn 1, so we couldn't grab it. Or does the skill grab from Graveyard? I need to read the skill again. You needed 1 to 2 normal summons next turn, which is pretty easy. So it should be easy, but we could have just drawn spell traps and high-level monsters, right? Yeah, so we can't grab the equip from Graveyard. We have to use the ore to do so. These guys have kind of shitty defense, but I don't think I want to just leave them in attack mode either way. Only gets from deck, yeah. What we need to do... Maybe I should have summoned this, because if we summon it, we still get to just dump from hand, or from deck. And we need to get 3 in the graveyard at some point anyway. And it looks like maybe he wouldn't have been able to clear it anyway. Like, maybe he uses something different if we summon an attack position, but... Okay. So we'll summon out Traveler. We'll flip up Sentinel. We'll activate Traveler. Reduce the attack on this. We'll summon out Shooter. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. We will go ahead and activate the skill. So we still can't equip our equip spell. But... and we're going to replace that with that unless we use both Force. Using both Force could potentially... right, we'll grab Zyphos. We're going to grab it anyway. Using both Force might be a bit reckless here, but, like, there's a chance it just wins the game. Oh, no, we can't use both Force because of that. I need to, like, read my cards. I haven't played much like Galaxy in a while. Okay. So if we could have used double Force, it would have been lethal. But we couldn't double Force. We also could have just equipped... oh, no, we couldn't use equip. We still can't equip it because it has the silly restriction if your opponent needs a 7 or 8. Is Dwan just sniping everyone on ladder right now? Not reading your cards is the most Yu-Gi-Oh player thing you could possibly do. Basically. Is that the Paco Waco Taco in the chat? Hello, hello, Paco. You are sniping me, Madge? Look, I'm the one streaming, right? I can't see when you queue up. You can see when I queue up. I can't be blamed for this. He's actually on Hero Rush Rising as well. Our hero opponent is actually playing heroes. What is going on? Now, the issue is, our opponent knows exactly where our good back row is. Because there was a delay. Oh, no, he didn't know about that one. Right, because we didn't flip over both. So we had a 50-50. But if he has another back row hate, he knows to hit this one. Nope, he is ignoring the fact that there was a delay. So now he's going to fuse. He's going to make Burst Wingman and pop the last one anyway, so it just doesn't matter. I suppose by that logic, ignoring that one is actually better. Because if the other one's like Trap Hole or something, those could actually trigger, so it's better to... I take back everything I said. I don't even need to do this, but I'm going to do it, just to... I mean... I don't even know if that's worth saving a replay, to be honest. I don't think I'm gonna. Well. I'm never getting my Asana sleeves. What do you mean? Just play Asana. Slap Gaia into your active slot and go burr. Looks like a speed duel hero player. I mean, potentially, right? Galaxy Tier 1, let's go. Right, we got Lucas. Oh, we're on a rank up game. It's crazy. I assume we're going to be against Gaia again. So you can't use that until we get 3 in Graveyard, so that's not really looking particularly appetizing. I could just summon a guy just to dump. I don't even think we necessarily need to dump right now. It kind of depends what we draw. We also haven't like drawn a Secret Order yet at all, which is like kind of sucky. I think we're just going to set everything. Then we'll just see what he's got. Rip 1k channel points? Apparently so. Apparently so. I'm never getting my Asana sleeves. Give me Luna. Mr. Tomato, you missed me choosing Asana sleeves. Oh, I see. Well, it's because you set a challenge for people to try and get it, so of course they're going to see it. Okay, we're against Sidra. Sidra is a lot more manageable. I don't actually know how this deck is going to perform into Sidra, because they're not going to have like low defense for us to take advantage of. But they are going to leave everything in attack. But all their guys are going to have really big attack. He's on the old ladder meta. Right, Fusion comes down. Now, it depends what the last 2 cards in hand are. If the last 2 cards in hand are both normal summons, we're going to take a chunk to the face, which I'm not super enthused about. But if they're not... one back row, 1 card stuck in hand. That is kind of what we want to see. In the ideal world, we'll keep this, but we'll see what happens. Okay, yeah, we do lose both. Rip. Okay, well, there's Xiphos straight to the hand. No back row hate is a little bit spooky, but we can probably make this work. So we'll go... I think we just slam ore on the board. We flip Shooter. We probably just tribute both. We'll go 1. We'll go 2. We'll go ahead and equip first. We'll go for the draw. Because we have 2 or less cards in our hand at the moment. Sure. Welcome back, Traveler. So now I guess we just search out Oblivion and then just hope he hasn't got anything. The back row is nothing. The back row is nothing. The back row is nothing. Back row cannot hurt us. We are fine. Never be funny, kiddos. Yeah, sure, we'll say that one. That was fine. A little bit bricky, but it got to show off what our deck can do at the very least. It's one of those things, I don't know if the correct play would have been to search first and then draw, or draw and then search. The logic was, if I draw, I can make a more informed decision about what I search. But, obviously that meant I had to equip the Riser instead of getting it onto potentially an Oblivion. But in that situation there, for example, I could have searched Oblivion, but then I still couldn't have got the draw to get the Oblivion out. We only had 1 more body to work with. So, like, I don't think there was a better option there. Draw then search. Yeah, that's kind of what I went... I think for that situation specifically, draw then search was better. But I don't know, like, overall, like, what is... I think for the most part, I would always rather draw, and then I can make an informed search. Just in general. But there might be situations where I can... I don't want to equip the Riser with the equip spell, right? Asana. I would have got Lilac first and hope I draw MST. That's not a bad shout either, because if you do that... The only thing is, that wouldn't be lethal damage though, right? Because I was only 300... No, I was 200 over lethal there, I think. So if I had searched Lilac, it wouldn't have threatened lethal. But I suppose... Like, there, the God Draw was Secret Order. If it wasn't Secret Order, there was never a lethal line. So... Maybe you just don't play around the God Draw anyway. If you top deck Order, you can just set it and use it next turn. I mean, true. Man, if only Riser was another vanilla with 1500 defense. I want to try, like, the all-in Riser build at some point as well. Because this build is very much... Oblivion, normal monster, big guys, smash, OTK kind of deck. But, like, the way the deck is meant to be played, quote-unquote, is more, like, methodical. Tribute 1. You're playing... Is this... What is this? Is this going to be like the 1800 Defender, or is this like a Cursed Dragon? Alright, normal. 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 Everything both. Activate the skill. Probably just grabbing Linak here, right? I don't think there's any reason to grab anything else. Normal summon. Normal summon. Now, we could get a bit more damage in, but I think we just use this just to guarantee. Okay, is it the 1800? Okay, so this is Dark Arts of Positioning. I mean, we don't see this very often. Let's see what happens. Don't we just double Oblivion here? So I like having 3 monsters on the board. And again, this gives us like the Oblivion follow-up for next turn, which like isn't like awful. Like this was represented more damage. This is probably harder to deal with. I mean, again, I'm not saying that this play was 100% better. I'm just like giving you the logic as to why I made this play, right? I don't know about double Oblivion if you want a boss for next turn. Watch us draw like double boss in the next hand as well. Oh no. We only have 2 in the graveyard and we can't normal summon one. Did he play any spell traps this turn? Xiphos, go! Ching! Alright, this does threaten lethal. Boo! 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 No! No! It was like, it was the perfect out. It was the perfect out. Alright, let's see what he's got. We might be alright. Bonded Bowing! Oh no! He upstart goblined. We got gamed. We so got gamed. I mean, our hand doesn't look awful here, right? Oh god, not Urashima Warrior. Now we can't activate back row when his warrior declares an attack. Shit, what are we gonna do? Buster Blader, but we're not playing any dragons. Okay, so we're losing 2 guys, and he's leaving it in defense? Why? Does he misunderstand how the card works? Okay. I mean, I could grab this to get back the equip, which is very funny. Do we do the funny play? I kind of want to do the funny play. Go, Galacterial Ore! Come back, Galactica Xiphos! Activate Galactica Xiphos once again! Whoa! This one will just survive. This Galactica Xiphos, this one's just gonna stick. We don't need that in the grave anymore. Probably that. Yeah. Alright, this is almost objectively the wrong decision, but I really wanted to get Xiphos onto the board, okay? I really wanted to get Xiphos back. I'm trying to think, would it have made a difference? We were at 22. We would have gone up to 25 if we'd gotten a normal monster instead. So it wouldn't have actually changed the outcome. We would have done less damage. And he still would have had this guy in defense mode. If he'd put it into attack mode, we could. Oblivion is so big. Yeah, me too, man. Leave Ore alone. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Has he got some, why would you change? or to defense? Why that one? This makes sense. Flip over fusion. Go into that, pop both of those, but then why would we not leave aura and attack and get 600 more damage in? Why are we putting in defense mode? What? Okay. So you go into... Yeah, this makes sense. But why wouldn't you just put it in attack mode? So you could have had 1,000 guy on the board. Then you've got 6,000 minus 1,000. You put me on 500 life. Like, that was the correct line. This is the incorrect line. Oh, I think we just lose. He has 2 9s, so we can't even use our equip. This only reduces by 500. If we put stuff in defense, he pops 2 of them, and then he uses this to change the battle position of one of them. Is the line we just summon all 3 in attack position? Then he uses that to change 1 to defense. I think this is the only chance we have, and it's not a great chance. I really need to not draw these. Alright, let's see if we can live. I think it was regardless. It was game with 15 plus 25 plus 25 over a 1k. Yes, so if he didn't... So you're saying if he didn't make Yamaterasu. If he didn't make Yamaterasu. Tribute. Oh no! That'll change the battle position! Oh wait, what? What are you doing? Are you throwing? That's 2,000. Oh no, this is just lethal? I think this is just lethal. Oh, it's not lethal. Okay, yeah, he threw. He absolutely had lethal there. He absolutely had lethal. Heliacal Riser! What do we do with this? So we always summon out Ore. We always activate Ore. We always grab back Zyphos. Which we still can't use because he doesn't have a 7 or 8! He has 6s and 9s! Ah! Okay. We summon Traveler. We'll summon out Linak. We'll activate Traveler. We'll reduce this. We'll tribute this and this to get a search. We activate the skill. We'll grab... it has to be a Vortex Shooter. We'll summon out the Shooter. We'll set. Activate this. I have no idea what we're even doing at this point. 1, 2, and sure, you can come back. Yes, why not? 1, 2, 3. Boost! Yeah, welcome back. Die! No! Ah! Oh, do we put this in the replay? This is just kind of sad. Bro, by the way, this guy is miss lethal twice, but he's just had all the back row he needed to save himself. Part of me thinks this has to make it into the video just because it's so funny. The problem is, a lot of the comedy is lost when it's just a dry replay with nothing else. But I want to save the replay. How could he have traps? It wasn't that he had traps, it's that he had the exact correct trap every single time, and we never got the back row hate to deal with the traps, right? That was the fundamental issue. Put it in the replay to give Gakuto some love. It's the issue as well, is he played like ass, bro. Like, he played so bad. He missed lethal twice. To be honest, we should have cleared the Yami ruler. I'm trying to think what the board... It was Buster Blader and Yami ruler, right? Yeah. I mean, Yami ruler on his own, though, doesn't threaten. And we didn't know what skill he was on at that point, I don't think. I mean, that's a hand. When we search the equip, yeah, we could search another Oblivion. Oh, okay. Sea Dragon King Granganus is coming down. Territory of the Sea Serpent King. I mean, do we just pop it with Universal Storm because it's funny? Not even because it's good, just because I'm like, haha, you've lost Umi. Now, couldn't you have added to Oblivion, use Force, and that's game? If you're talking about at the end there, we didn't have 2 bodies to get out a second Oblivion, but I don't know exactly what we're referring to, so... Vortex Shooter, go! We'll then just go Universal Storm. I think we still always pop the back row. And it was a negate attack, so absolutely rewarded. So now we'll go ahead and activate Galactica Rising. We're just going to send this to the bin. We'll bring it back with order. We can't boost this up anymore, so we can't get over that, which is a bit of a shame. We also can't use this because we don't have Galaxy Monsters in the graveyard. But we can still just get rid of the boss. That's probably worth. Alright, so he's got. Popping Umi is good. Yeah, I want to pop Umi, but when you've only got 3 back row hate and your opponent sat on a back row, it's just like, is it worth getting rid of Umi? Like, maybe? On the offense, it shouldn't matter too much. Oh, we lost our Vanishing Heliacal Riser. Tribute to the Doomed. I mean, I actually do respect Tribute to the Doomed, just because this deck's going to really struggle to get damage in, so popping monsters out the way is actually not a bad way to do it. The only issue is the skill doesn't really, like, plus you much. Not my Galacterial ore. Well, at least we have our graveyard set up now to do stuff. Guess what he also still doesn't have on the field, guys? God, Zyphos, why? Right, we can summon. Do we have, like, a way? There's no way that we have a lethal line, surely. But it'd be really funny if we did. I'm going to reduce this. Because either way, I don't want to keeping it. I think if we could equip our equip spell, we'd have a lethal line. How much is this? This is what? 4-1. We've got plenty. So that would be plus... What? 6, 12? 12 times 2, 24. That's not lethal. It's not. It's close though. Fuck it. Can we double force? Yes, we can. 1, 2, 3. Probably put you back. So that's what, 24? 22. Apparently, I'm just really bad at maths, guys. I'm just really bad. Oh, I wasn't counting his normal monster. I wasn't counting his normal monster. That is how we went wrong. Because I basically then just took off... Mind you, I think my maths was still just really off. Like, still really off. Maybe you didn't count his normal? I definitely did not count his normal, but I think my maths was still like 1,000 off of what it should have been. Do we even save that replay? It showed off what the deck does, right? We'll save that replay. Without his normal, it was 200 off. Okay, that was probably what I went then. The thing is, if I'm playing in a tournament and I'm like really tryharding, I'll have like a calculator up on the side and I'll just like guarantee that the maths isn't incorrect. Otherwise, I just kind of like shorthand it and I'll be like, I'll be like, do a lot of rounding. And then it's like, rounding is probably not the way to go if you're actually playing to win. Well, Yu-Gi-Oh players cannot read nor do maths. Exactly. So true, Exes. So true. Can we cog with this? We're not planning to, but... We have played a lot of off-meta today already. If I got cog with this, you can as well. Yeah, but I don't know if we're, like, actively going to be trying is the thing. Yeah. Yeah. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Activate the skill. Give me the boy. Normal summon. I think we just set these. I don't think we just, like, randomly snipe a back row. Well. I mean, getting 4,100 damage on turn 1's quite nice. Let's see what he does. What are we doing? Changing the game map from Andrew. What are you looking for, my cat lord? Lord of cats? What kind of mat are we thinking about? I love as well how we have one of the only mats in the game with a cat on it, and the cat lord wants to get something else. So what's the difficulty in playing Psychic? I recently got all the pieces, so I was wanting to know. So the it's not so much like... It's more like you have to just kind of see the different combos you have. Because when a deck has a lot of different options, you've got to, like, navigate what is the correct one, right? And that deck can do a lot of different things. And it's like, well, do I do this? Do I do this? Or I could do that. And if I do that, then that changes how I want to do this. Sora with Fright Fur Bear. Or Lunar Light Leo Dancer. I personally am always going to be more of a Fright Fur fan myself, so... We do actually have a Fright Fur Bear emote. We don't use it very often, because we haven't been playing much, Why are you like this sometimes? Twitch, why can't you just be normal? There it is. Eh. It's just that the combos are kind of complicated. Sometimes there are double fusion lethal lines. Oh no, we lost our Galactica Force. I wanted that. Summons out the Avian. Summons out Burst. So he's going to pop our other back row as well. He still, by the way, I don't believe, has used the skill. He is still... Oh, no, he has used the skill. Okay, he has used the skill. Right, we might be... Why did they do this? Oh, it's free to play. It's free to play. It's free to play. That's why. A new back row. So that is the back row that we be wary of. I'd really like to have my force back, to be honest, but... Hey, my force is back. We can dump. We can't do much else. With force, we can boost everything by 9, which is enough to clear. We should be able to just win. I think we prioritize just getting guys on the board. fire off our Rising. We're just dumping something here. I don't think it matters too much. We'll go Force. We needed that to get big enough to clear this, but we still can't clear this, which is a bit of a shame. Would this have been better? This would have been 300 less, so we could have crashed. This would have been a lot less, though, so it wouldn't have been able to do anything else. I don't think there was a better line there. Like, the alternative was, like, set everything. He probably just makes a Gaia fusion, pierces over for 1 million. We get burned for 1400 plus. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Last year, before the Duel Links World Championship, we got a Playmaker structure deck for Dark Fluid. But this year, it's probably going to be Yuga or Luke. What do you think Konami is going to give us as a potential meta-defining Yuga or Luke structure deck? I mean, Luke, we're missing, what, Metageus, we're missing Zero Geass, Zero Gygeus. For Yuga, we're missing quite a lot still. We're missing... Master of Seven's Road, we're missing Seven's Geass, which would be a combination of Luke and Yuga, but that card is, like, super toxic, or at least it was in the OCG. We're still missing quite a lot of Yuga, to be honest. We're missing Savage Claw Tiger, which is like the most painfully average guy that we just don't have as a boss. Rider Cross Fusion is another one. We don't have Rider Cross Ash, and we don't have the Rider Cross Fusion. Could also be the start of good fusions from the Go Rush era, potentially, potentially. Now he's going to get a free plus. Watch the free plus be something really impactful. Like another Curse of Dragon. It'll distribute over. No, we just have Talismanic Seal Ray, though. On a scale of 1 to fucking dead. I think we're fucking dead. There was a chance we lived here. We did not live, though. He drew pretty cracked. Ah. Oh, that's what not doing maths does. Alright, we're on 500. So we need to get a 26 onto the board. Back row doesn't exist, guys, right? Back row just doesn't exist. He has used no trap cards so far. Back row just doesn't exist. Oh, let's just drop the order. Come on back. Well, normal Linak. Now, does the skill work here? It's probably not going to. It's probably normal summoned. Never mind, guys. We won. Back row doesn't exist. Wait. Check if he was on Ruin. Yeah, we'll have a look. We'll have a look. I'm ready for him to be on, like, Trap Hole. That would be, like, really funny. There it is. The Widespread Ruin. YDL no die. I mean... So this is very free to play, right? We've only got the 2 copies of Flame Wingman. We have no copies of Burst Wingman. We've only got 2 copies of each of our heroes. So this is very free to play. Considering he was free to play, I think he actually did pretty good. This is why I got Cog with DM. I think that's the thing. DM can, like, you can cog with anything. Realistically, you can cog with anything. Like, cogging is not a challenge, really, in Duel Links. At least not in Rush, right? In Rush, it's a perseverance thing. Like, it might take you, like, 3, 4, 5, 6, like, 5 win-in-a-row runs to actually get there, but you will get there. Just be a rough climb. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Also, hello, Alterius. Welcome in. And hello, Afri. Welcome also in. We also did not change our map. We needed to change that. What did Cat Lord want? Frightfur Bear. Right. Someone remind me after this game. We need to change to Frightfur Bear. I mean, this hand kind of sucks. But, I mean, we got to do stuff. Full set. Go to battle. Swingy wingy. So he has something. I mean, he might just be able to OTK us if he uses a negate attack here. Like, straight up. Like, the Gaia deck can just do that. Okay, so he's going for the NA. So basically, I think we were screwed from the start, but he might draw badly. Me who not cog even once. I mean, I think though, Saka, you could if you put the time in. I think you just probably don't want to put the time in, right? I think day 1 to 2 cog run bit challenging. It kind of depends because day 1 is also when like a lot of speed players jump in. Also, if there's new product out, people are just going to be playing new stuff, and that new stuff could be really good, but also it could be garbage. Also, if you're playing new stuff, people don't generally know how to play against it, so you have the surprise factor. Like, there's so many different factors that go into it that I don't think it really makes much of a difference. I forget about Ragnarok. With Ragnarok, though, it feels like you're just trying to dig for maximum. It's going to Unga Bunga from there. Gaia gives you lots of options from the extra deck. But you're right, Metarian and Psychic were also combo decks, probably. Yeah. I would say Gaia Metarion definitely feels like the most combo-y. Because you have, like, actually a lot of different options. You have, like, lots of different fusions you can go into, for example. Like, if you're playing, like, Elemental Hero variant, for example, basically, you're just... It's like, do I go Wingman or do I go Burst, right? Like, do I go Burst or Flame? And that's kind of it. There isn't really much beyond that. Joint Hit Rushhorn! No! We're gonna die to Joint Hit Rushhorn, guys! Ah! He's gonna pierce over all of our defense position monsters. And ironically, though, we do need a very good hand to break this. If we don't get a very good hand right now, we are just super dead. That is probably background hate as well. That would be my guess. Oh, oh, that's not good. That's pretty bad. Paco, your deck sucks, bro. We're going to set in the middle. No one ever pops the middle one, right? Sorry, this is my prediction. This is back row hate, and he's going to draw another back row hate, and then we're going to die. That is my prediction. Let's see what we have. Right, he's going to flip over Iron Onslaught, or what's it called? Barrage of Steel is its English name. Hold. Hold! Hold! Negate! Alright, we're going to draw another 2 bosses. Oh my god, bro. Okay. I mean, we can kind of play. I think we need this out of the hand, so we have to use this to get that out of the hand. This needs to die. It should die either way. It should die either way. The alternative is that we, like... No, there's no good way to do this, is there? I could use this, get this out of the hand, then tribute over for this. That would get me a draw. But that feels so cope when we could just, like, slap an equip spell on Oblivion and pray. I think that's probably going to be the better option. He isn't playing it right. Zyphos then crash the 14 so you don't die. I mean, Zyphos clears this anyway. So the only way we die is if he has, like, piercing. Which means he wouldn't be able to use the Rush Horn. I think we always order. Order from hand. Do we even force? No, we don't have to care about Ruin. He's already, He might draw Ancient Gear Golem. Ah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. Alright, I think we're going to follow Xyz's plan. We're going to get rid of this. And then we're going to ram into this. I think this does give us the best chance of survival. Isn't it Game of Force? You have 2 vanillas? Would it have been Game of Force? We would have had an extra 15 plus an extra 12 times 2, 24. That would have been just under lethal, I think. Let me get out the old calculator. So it would have been 45 plus 12, which is 57 plus 26. And then it would have been minus 3,000. So it would have been 5,300 damage. So it wouldn't have been lethal unless I've got any of those numbers wrong. Oh, is he going for Cyber Rush? Cyber Rush Dragon! We're digging for the out! We set as much as we can from the hand. Uh-oh. Salt Cannon. So now we activate Cyber Rush. We're just digging for an out. What out? It has to be TSA, right? It has to be TSA. I mean, I guess it could be Cyber Assault. Cyber Assault or TSA. So we're probably dead because he should be playing a lot of both of those cards. I don't know, this deck typically one's like 1 TSA, but it will play like 2 Cyber Assault. Yeah, there's Cyber Assault. Yeah, we are dead. That's going to be a big rip. Part of me wants to save this replay, and part of me is like, this is just a hard brick game, so it's not even, like, interesting. Alright. I wasn't sure how many more plates he was going to spin. I don't think it's worth saving a brick game. Has Heliacal Riser done anything yet? Yes. It did a chunk of piercing damage and gave us a singular draw. That is what it has done. It's a good replay for the new Sidra card. That's not really what we're showcasing in the video though, right? We'll have our own Cyber video, in which case we'll try and summon that. Uh-oh. This feels like it's going to be our worst possible matchup. Because this deck can't really be proactive. This hand also is utter... Parker, your deck sucks! I mean... I don't know what we're supposed to do. I don't know what we're supposed to do with this. Don't worry, guys. It's getting better. Now we only get 1 draw every turn. of me is like, there's no point in continuing. The game is over. And part of me is like, but it's kind of funny. Let's see where it goes. I got top 16 with it. You obviously sacked motherfuckers and played against, like, mouth breathers. Like, come on. Let's be real here, Parker. This is garbage. Watch him snipe the NA. Oh, we called it! Alright, if he pops all 3, it does not matter. And since he popped 2, it was relatively likely he was going to hit the trap anyway. Play the non-equipped version, it also sucks. But we're trying out the new stuff. That's the whole point, right? It's like, occasionally I'll get comments on videos being like, why didn't you just use the old version? And it's like, because the video is showcasing the cool new stuff. So I want to show off at least this version of the deck, right? Well, that is lethal. Dwan is a mouth breather. Hey, don't pick on Dwan. Might have to time Parko out if he keeps being a bully. Parko's going through his bully arc, I swear. Lamau bro hard drew it. Apparently, some dragon players just built different, bro. Alright, can we get a game where we get to actually play? We've had 2 brick games back to back now. Surely we can play the game this time. Surely we can play the game. X Omega with the Omega symbol as... Oh god, why is it Luke again? Again, I really don't know how we beat dragons. I really don't know how we beat this deck. With this deck. We have no way to punish their sets. And if we go defensive, we can't do anything. Can we cut one Riser? I mean, we could. But then you'll get the opposite extreme, though, where you just will never find your bosses. It's like, the way the deck is supposed to work is you will just dump a Oblivion into the graveyard. So you'll just get to do things that way. Alright, we're going to apply pressure. Here it goes. We're going to give our Vanishing Heliacal Riser piercing. Out he comes. I mean, it's just line out. I think we are just going to go aggro, because if we set these and he uses the skill and gets the plus anyway, he'll just get double piercing and attack over us for like 6,000 damage. So it's like, why not? Go get him, champ! Yeah, 1,300 pierce! Oh, that was the correct answer. I think it's better than Fish. I think Fish is so ass. This is also ass. I think this has more potential than Fish, just because the skill on this actually pluses you every turn. As well as this actually has some way to get damage in past set 3. Whereas, like, Fish is just, like, summon 2700s that burn. And that's kind of it. The middle one is always the highest defense. Listen, right? It's talk like that that will get you thinking that you always know exactly how things are going to work, and then they just don't, right? Check Discord when you get a chance. Uh-oh. That sounds spooky. Sliding into Parko's DMs. Right, he's added the dragon. Okay. Dragon's Inferno! Well, I think we might be dead, guys. There's a chance we're alive, but I don't think it's a great chance. Hello, Globe. Welcome, welcome. My opponent, Polly the Dragia, start F turn 2 and pierced my 0 defense monster for game. How do we call this? Always. Surely he didn't draw Mirror Gears plus Fusion plus another dragon. What the? Okay. Things went better than expected. We will take that. We have no bosses. Well, now what do we do? We know he's got the dragon. So if we go full defensive... We can't leave our guys in attack, because he'll reduce them both down to 100 and then clear over them and we'll die. If we go defensive, we're now praying he doesn't have... or doesn't draw Dragius off the top. Because then we also just die. Because presumably that set card is probably a fusion. I think no matter what, we have to just go defensive. Like, our best option is that he just doesn't find Dragius and he can't get the piercing. We can't do anything else. I think we clear the 2 monsters. He won't top deck Dragon plus Fusion. So he could already have Fusion. He's got a card in his hand, and he's got a set card. So one of those is probably Fusion. We already know he has Dragon. He would have used Fusion if he had it. Yeah, but then all that tells us is the card he kept in hand was the Dragon. Which, yeah, there we go. So the card he kept in hand was the Dragon, which means all he needs to do is draw Fusion. Why you have to think on Rush? That's just how the game works, Kim friend. Sometimes you have to do the thinks. So if we had cleared, we would have died. Right? Maybe. We definitely would have taken 48 at least. Then if he just had 2 more guys, we still just die anyway, right? Would we have died? He had all of this anyway. The main difference is he wouldn't have had the Phoenix Dragon. So it came down to, did he have just another normal summon that did damage? Did he just throw? Okay. Maybe there wasn't a lethal line. I thought there must have been, but maybe there just wasn't. We still don't have any back row hate. We also don't have an Oblivion in Graveyard yet. So, we have to summon Sentinel. We have to activate our skill just to get this in the bin. So that we can activate this. Bring this back. There's no reason to change that back to attack. So we'll just go to battle, and then we'll run into his trap, and then the game will be over. Oh. Hold. Right. We're not dead from his hand. Alright. He can search Fusion. He has the ability to do so, but he needs to draw the dragon. Both bosses could only attack monsters, so he wanted damage, I think. Ah, that's fair. I keep mistaking the Dragius effects for the Miragius ones. Alright, he grabbed the fusion, but he had to hard draw the dragon as the last draw there. Maybe knowing this, we should have put Linek to attack position. Or Starry Star. I don't think he's playing Starry Star. Activates the Talismanic Seal Array. With its power, he can add all of his copies of the dragon back from the graveyard to his deck. One, two, 3, 4. My poor guy. Sets the back row, sets another back row. Goes for a swingy wingy. We'll go Buffett Slimy Wimey. We do lose our Universal, which is not great. I'd really like to draw a boss. Like a boss would be nice. You see, that's not a boss. Alright, in order to get a fusion out, he needs to use polymerization, which he's not on. So he needs to tribute over his guys to make room. The maximum damage we take at the moment is going to be 27. Unless he plays like Pierce, or if he tributes over to get out another boss. I'm getting conflicting reports. You're dead, but we are not dead. Alright, I don't think there's anything we do other than this. So let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Oh, boss there would have been so nice. I mean, he's got 3 back rows, so we probably don't win through that anyway, but...
Dragiastar Nova! I'm gonna boost the attack of one of my monsters to 2700.
Okay. Now, you needed to draw into a boss. You tribute over 2. Oh, that's not what we want to see. Okay, we're probably dead. Now he just summons out the dragon. That's not the dragon. Hold. But we are dead just to double attack, so our back row is a nothing card. Yeah, we just take 5k to the face, which is a shame. What the fuck do you do if you miss 1 turn of drawing a boss or drawing low levels? I think you just put your head between your legs, really. There's not really much more going on beyond that. I think that was a good... because that wasn't a brick game, per se. But it did kind of show off what happens when everything goes wrong. So I think that is a good one to save anyway. Alright, let's go again. I mean, we had 2 brick games back-to-back into that, which wasn't... I don't necessarily think I'd call that a brick game, but that really did not go our way whatsoever. It's Taka! Taka means crow. Dragon's getting nerded. I prefer nerded, to be honest, AMG. Is long overdue. The thing is, I think this keeps happening, though, where there's like a really problematic deck, and then something else comes out that's better, and then everyone forgets about the problematic deck. It's happened a few times. I could summon to dump something with a skill, or is the skill only turn 2 onwards? No, so I could do it on turn 1. I never know if it's worth just like slapping something in attack just to send something immediately. Get nerded. Hello, Lady Jasmine. Welcome, welcome. Imagine facing Psychics. What even is Psychics? Dragius plus any pair... puts any a pair of glasses and goes... actually, exactly. Dragius players, like... I think we need to address this this Metarian Gaia thing. This elephant that is in the room. Well, there goes Negate Attack. This is why I don't like drawing Negate Attack turn 1. Because it always gets popped. 100% of the time. In a way, they're already nerded. True. We are technically still waiting for the Metarian, Psychic, and Dragon nerfs. One of these days. Well, to be fair, Psychic has been hit so many times. Like, it's almost comical how many cards on the limited list are just Psychic cards. I'm just saying, by the way, this is why a lot of the Psychic cards did get limited. Imagine if Psychic still had Jamp Check. Like, Jamp Check is so unbelievably powerful. Noodle buff when? Never. Konami hate noodles. They were literally, like, we've got to make our... Pyro skills not allow noodles and chemicalize to coincide except in the bad skill. And Gaia can be played with anything, don't worry about it. Konami hates everything good. I think it comes down to like a design philosophy. They don't care if something's OP, as long as it's OP sort of how they want it to be OP. They didn't like Noodles because it was good in a way they didn't like, right? That's what it is. Burning people is bad. I think, though, burning is part of the game. I think, like, if you just sit there behind a load of floodgates and start burning your opponent, that's super lame. But, like, technically the Sea Serpent deck is a burn deck. It burns, right? Instead of giving us more back row, they give us more ways to deal with back row. Exactly. What does the new Galaxy skill do again? It lets you Foolish Burial. Occasionally, it will let you search from your deck and get a plus. And during those turns, it will also give you Piercing. So summon, tribute out that. Get another one of those. That doesn't do anything. Summon, tribute out this. Get the plus. I can attack over that. I would then have to hope the plus does something. Or we just go for the equip spell. Is the line here just go for the equip spell? Either way we summon these. That's always happening. I think it's this. Because, like, going for the plus is nice. But we don't need the piercing. And we don't know what the plus is going to be. The plus could just be nothing. Now I equip my Galactica Oblivion with my Galactica Zyphos. Look at how shiny it is. We'll go Lilac face up. It's always this because doesn't matter. If he gets battle tested, it doesn't matter at all. If he gets another way to fuse, it does kind of matter. But sending that to grave also just turns on cooling. So I think we do go for this one. He's got negate attack anyway, so apparently it just does not matter. Burn to OP. I think equip is the play. Taya Burn was like Giga Cringe. The difference is Taya Burn was an FTK, right? Didn't they preemptively nerf Trickstar effects damage because of that? I think the difference is having burn damage be a thing, I think is fine. But when you've halved the amount of life points, you then have to halve the burn damage, right? Like, logically, that just makes sense. Otherwise, you're basically saying burn now does twice as much. If you summon level 4, you could send Oblivion, normal summon, equip monster or equip, which I couldn't do. The grave. Oh, you're explaining what the skill does. Right. I was like, I thought you were like explaining a line that I could have done. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, bro opened negate attack and did that on his first turn. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Our win con is that he doesn't have a way to out Zyphos. If he can't get rid of our equip, we just kind of sit here and look pretty. We'll lose our Lilac, but that's fine. The issue is, though, that he should have plenty of ways to get rid of it. Right? All he needs is a battle tested, and he's good to go. If he just has a Curse of Dragon, he's good to go, right? So he needs to have not drawn battle tested. He needs to have not drawn Curse of Dragon. Then we're fine. No, he's got battle tested. Yeah, so we just die, right? Do we actually die, though? So he pops the back row, goes up to 32, swings over for 7, swings over for 1,000, that's 17, gets him for 15, which is 32. So we're not dead at the moment. Dragons Inferno also works. I don't know if he would be playing Inferno in this bit. Oh, mind you, he is playing Drago, right? Is this just like the... I don't know if Harvey's in the structure that they give out. I don't think it is. But the rest of this just kind of looks like the structure. So that's 2. Ow. Ow. A direct attack would have been 32, and then an extra 1,000. So we would still have been alive either way. We've actually got the Pot of Greed, guys. We found this is the first time we've acted. Why? Paco, this deck sucks. Even Pot of Greed couldn't fix it. Ah! Not playable, add an Amnesia and a Greystorm. Ooh. Ooh. Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. We're against Luke. Do we just double set? He's probably going to go full on defensive. So I think we probably do just double set. Like, we could dump something in the grave. Which maybe is the correct line, but that's what he does. Set boss. Maybe setting boss is correct. Illusion Strike Dragon Mirror Gears turn 1. This kind of makes me happy I didn't set the boss, but if I just draw more bosses now, I'll feel really silly. Okay. Or summon. Summon. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Get out the boy. Now, do we give a shit about his plus? Probably not. We got 3, which means like a crash. We're not going to get enough monsters in the graveyard. Okay. We are going to use Rising. I think we will just go ahead and grab another Linek. I guess we should just fire this off now. Because we're not going to get enough in the graveyard to use it anyway. Now, I really want to get the piercing damage in. But that means just losing a body for like no reason. We can finally equip. The only problem is if we use the equip, then I can't get these guys big. Right? Like, I don't think there's a reason to. Getting like the 3+1 could have done something or it could have done nothing, right? And we're going to go for the piercing. Fuck it. I want the damage. Alright. Let's go, we can equip. I don't think equipping was the correct line there. Like, having one less body. Hello, Valley. Don't hurt my back row. Jerk. Double Inferno. Slugger. So he has to have a boss. And then it comes down to, has he got the other card in his hand? Is it a fusion or the dragon? Activates Dragiostar Nova. So he's going to go for a search. So did he draw the dragon as his last card? He did not. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we know the card face down is nothing important. We found a boss. Summon. Summon. Reduce. So we can get a plus and hope it's a normal. Or, I mean, how much damage is this? This is going to be like 400. 600 at the moment. If we got the equip, that would be a little bit more. I think we have to end the game this turn, right? I think equip is the... I think we have to take the risk. I just really don't want to draw a boss monster. That would suck so hard. Whoa! Ching! Alright. I'm actually going to put this back into the deck because I really don't want to draw into a boss. Okay. I am going to just use Storm as well because... Oh, mind you, this is going to be too much attack. Maybe I shouldn't have used that then. I didn't think about him retaining the attack. Oh, it's only 27. It's only 27. So it's not 28. In which case it doesn't make any difference. Okay. So the difference now is... It's now not a 50-50 to hit the negate attack. That's the difference. Takes back the fusion, so he has to have hard drawn everything out. I say hard drawn, he's just activated Pot Greed. Another Slugger comes down. Hello, Norrentino. Welcome, welcome. Is Galaxy tier 0? No. It's beating for dragons. No, I don't think we're actually going to beat for dragons. So he gets another free +1. So he's already +3 this turn. He activates the fusion. So this is what? 2 39s? Means we take 12. And then we take... Is that 23? So we are uber dead. We are so unbelievably dead. And he still has 3 cards in hand. Has he got back row hate? Has he got back row hate? If he hasn't got back row hate, we're still in this. Hold. Ah, we didn't draw back row hate. I mean, we can still use this. Oh, we can't. 2 less cards in hand. Okay, we can finagle that. All set. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. We'll summon. I summoned this, which means if I use that, I can't deck thin. It would be adding to hand, which turn off the skill. Unless I add another copy of himself, which I think is worth it. So, activate Rising. We'll grab this. Tribute, tribute. Right, deck thinning ever so slightly. Damn. I was so sure that would work. This was wrong? Why was it wrong? There's a negate attack. I mean, the number of cards in the deck were still better for us, so I don't see why it'd be wrong. This deck does kind of suck. I'm still waiting for Paco to say why that was wrong. I don't think it was wrong. It didn't play around Fortitude? We couldn't play around Fortitude. How are we playing around Fortitude? How on earth were we playing around Fortitude? In what world were we possibly playing around Fortitude? Ah! I guess we'll save it. Don't worry. Use effect, draw 1, tribute the boss, then use or get equipped to Oblivion. I mean, I guess. That still doesn't seem super great, though. God, look at this. Look at this crap. This awful deck Paco's got us playing. Alright, we need to, like, fix this, because this is just not working whatsoever. I don't know, take something out. I feel like we need the forces. We need the storms. We're going to need 3 limit 3s, whether or not we change the equip anyway. We probably need both the traps. one less force. I mean, maybe. The issue is, I think if we don't have force, what does the deck do? Like, this build is just... Low levels are good, though. I feel like the entire point of this deck, or this build specifically, is just to get a load of normals on the field and just get Galactica Force and Zyphos going. And if you don't get those going, the deck doesn't really do anything. We'll try it with 2 Force, but I don't know if it's correct or not. I feel like Force is too integral. You don't play Klein? This is not our build, Portuguese Dub fan. This is Parco's build. This is world competitor Parco's build. So if there's anything wrong with the list, it's Parco's fault. Nothing to do with us. It's Alex Rogers. Judius Velgier. Hello, I am Ellie. Hello, Ray. Welcome. Paco! We could just have a +1 if we want it. I'm just going to summon this. I'm going to go Galactica Rising. Give me something, I don't know. You'll do... Give me a body. We'll set. We'll set. Do we even tribute that out? Probably not, right? Oh, this is so greedy, but I'm going to do this. Alright. Clyde instead of Traveler for tribute fodder. Yeah, the issue is that we do sometimes find ourselves in the opposite end of the spectrum where we don't have enough like bosses, and we've also lost games because of that. The problem with Klein is that it isn't level 4. Yes, it doesn't trigger the skill. Okay, Parko, you're fine for now. Skill forces you to run level 4 galaxy monsters. The skill is so ass. Yeah, you can't trigger the skill unless you summon an exact level 4. Psychic turn 2 shouldn't do anything. I mean, we'll see. You have to normal summon level 4 to use the skill, unless they get a custom hand. Well, it's very standard just to get custom hands, though. Hey! Left or right, guys? Left or right? Left or right? We're going to pop something randomly. Then we summon. We go ahead and tribute 1. Tribute 2. Oh, we've got 2 lefts and a right. We're going left. Left's in the chat. He doesn't have anything we can equip. Ah! Ah! I hate this card. I mean, that's entirely my fault for not reading it or not registering that he hadn't got a card on the field to use. But ah! Yeah, we'll just get battle. Alright, 2,000 damage. So what did we miss out on there? We missed out on having another body and getting in an extra 1,600 damage. That's what we missed out with. It was still correct we bluff. I guess since we do actually have a trap worth protecting, it isn't entirely bad. I think I still would rather have the extra 16 in the body, but it is pseudo-protecting as long as it doesn't just get sniped. Is that the Ice Pot Bear? Zyphos really should not be at 3 with that hard activation condition. I think the issue is that occasionally you could just slap down 3 of them onto a Oblivion and it just like wins the game on the spot. But like I feel like that's so few and far between, doesn't matter. I saw the OCG got Harpy support for Rush. Is it good? And when do you think we will see it in Duel Links? So the OCG, when Harpies first came out in OCG, it was a really good deck. And it has much more than we have now. So the initial first wave of Harpy support was already much better than what we have now. We then got a second wave of support that also put it back into being tier 1. So it was tier 1 when it came out. Then it like fell out of the meta. Then it got tier 1 again when it got its next wave of support. And now it's kind of fallen out of the meta a little bit now. And then we're now getting a new structure deck, and we'll have to see what this does. This is going to make it more of a fusion-based deck, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with it. But the new cards do look pretty good. Skill should lower an opponent's level at least once per duel. Oh no, check. No, he's not got check. What are you talking about? There's no way he's got check. Surely not. Well, Candy Live is here. Right, it's not Melody. That's the important thing. And we have to negate that. Why is he on check? Was he on check? Did we see it? I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy reading chat. Sure. We'll just storm the back row. I don't want any surprises whatsoever. I want to deny him as many resources as possible. It was Rice. I don't know if Rice really matters here. Do we have another one engraved currently? We don't. So if I want to get the search, I could summon, tribute over, summon, then get the search. Do I need the search? The alternative is that I equip, boost this up, then tribute it for Galactica Oblivion. Is it just straight up GG? Like, do I have to do anything here at all? You make 3 Oblivion. Okay, so that is use this, equip that, use the effect, summon, tribute both, get the 3rd Oblivion to hand. So I can go Xiphos, equip here. We'll summon, we'll set. We can activate the effect. I'll put that back. That's a funny draw. Then we tribute, tribute. Activate the skill. Grab Oblivion. Activate Order. Oblivion comes down. Activate Force. Boom. Boom. That went alright. Voice line, please.
No, no voice lines here, Ray. We don't do that here.
3 Xiphos OTK, more investment than Psychic Emitarian OTK. I'd unlimit. Are you telling me that Galactica Providence is an anime exclusive card? Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. He milled it. I see. Galaxy Equip Bros, we are so down. By the way, Tomato, did Dragons win a tourney this meta? Well, Parko, we can have a look at the spreadsheet right now. No. We've had Dragon Fusion take 2nd place. That is the best we've had so far. This is game equip, please. No. Yeah, it's GG. You make 3 Oblivion. How's Light Galaxy going? It's not great, if we're being completely honest, Alex. It's not great. First Galaxy W. Yeah, we have been on a bit of a lose streak before that game. Power! Holy, Galaxy best deck. Told you it was tier 0. Good. Well, Cat Dance Bros, we might be back. Interesting how Galaxy won this game. I think that's the thing. That's how Galaxy wins, though, is it's just like... everything just has to go perfectly, right? You get out 3 normals, you slap the equip down, you activate Force, you ram into 3 attack position monsters. And if you don't do exactly that, I feel like the deck just doesn't do anything. Totally not the NA snipe and NA resolve. Listen, right? That was chat. Chat picked that. That wasn't even us. Yeah, we had the what? 1, 2, 3. So these two are hard brick games. Like, straight up hard bricks. This one, we never found any bosses. I don't remember what happened in these two, but we lost. And then we're on that one. We did, we had some okay wins before that, but it is what it is. Alright, we go again. Thanks, Hikari. You saved the Galaxy players. Thank God for Hikari. What would we do without Hikari?
Hikari, I'm the Galaxy Equip guy.
Sorry, Paco. You can't be stealing Hikari's thunder, okay? Thanks, Paco, for killing my grandma. Okay. we're just dropping that in chat, are we? Just casual fade away. Paco! What is this shit? Paco! Ah! 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 Bro, this might be a you thing. Paco, it's your deck! It's your deck! No other deck bricks like this. This is a Paco thing. What if you run some 7 shifts? Legit might be the way. Just to fix these awful hands in the Paco list. Bro, he has hard drawn it. Ah! I mean, I suppose you don't have to sit here with this awful hand. You can't use skill if you special the 7 from hand. True. Very true. Can't lie, you might do better with the old Galaxy. The old Galaxy deck's kind of like super consistent. So probably. You just know though, the second we like take a boss out, like one boss out of the deck, it is immediately going to flip the script and be like, man, we just never have enough bosses. Why can't we summon bosses? Where are all the bosses at? Well, but it's better to have them on the field than sitting in the hand. Where's my massage deck profile? I mean, they would have to release it. That's just how it goes, right? I have no idea how Paco cogged with this shit. Just get lucky. He has no skill. He has no skill. We are going to lose to a guy that does not have a skill. I farm dragons, funny enough. The thing is, right, there are some dragon players that play like donkeys, right? They will literally summon out a bunch of like 1500 vanillas face up. And I'm just like, these are like the freest wins, even though they really shouldn't be. I feel like if it's a good dragon player, there's no way they lose to this deck, right? Unless they hard brick, how the hell does a dragon player lose to this? I think this might be an auto-duel deck. We might still lose. Paco's luck is how he wins. Either he's got really bad luck or really good luck. He's the main reason I wanted Essel banned. Imagine, like, we get a new ban list. It's like Essel is banned. Reason given for ban. It's just Paco Wako Taco dot. Like, nothing else. If we lose to a skillless deck, we ban Paco. Ooh. Every 3 months. Quick question, how often does Konami release boxes? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we do just so happen to have a product release schedule on our... Well, it sounds like we just won the game, so congratulations, Parker, you don't get banned. So this is our time between boxes. So, you know, month and a half, nearly 2 months, month and a half, less than a month. Well, a month and a half, that's 5 weeks. You get the point. We don't put selection boxes and structure decks because they're also a bit weird, but like This is your kind of time. This was the dark times, before Genesis Maximum came out. We don't talk about the dark times. We just accept that they happened and we move on. And then obviously Go Rush came out, and that was 2 months without anything. We almost got there with Boost Red Boot. That first year was the worst thing I've ever seen in this game. It was like, it wasn't even like not fun. It was just like, after a month of like an overly simple meta, you're just like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. After the second month, you're like, Jesus Christ, please give me something. I'll take anything. You can't just give me a ride across structure deck and call it a day. And then after the third month, you're like, are you updating this game? Is there just nothing? They didn't know what to do, it felt like, Lamau. And then they just, like, immediately dropped maximums, like, so early as well, which is so weird. The Dark Times had Best Across. Best Across still wasn't even good then. About 1 to 3 months. Well, on average now, it's about, like, a month and a half. But if they do, like, a Super Mini, they can be really short. Like, the last Super Mini was an 18-day wait. This one was 40 days, but, like, this Super Mini directly tied into Genesis Maximum, so it kind of made sense. It was like a patch, like, or a DLC almost, for, like, the box. So if they do that again, that could be whatever, right? Now, when DMG deck came out, people were so happy. Yes, and it was the only structure deck, I think, ever that came out that never gave us a new skill. After that box, the game got much better. Yes. I will say, Genesis Maximum... I don't know, Genesis Maximum was, like, pretty much good all around. The only real negative I have to say about Genesis Maximum is... it accelerated the game to a pace that meant back row now became... it's either unbelievably fantastic or utterly useless. And it meant that people died a lot quicker, which isn't inherently a bad thing, right? But basically, it just took a little bit of the interaction out of the game. And obviously Maximums are really hard to interact with anyway. Rebels were kind of dumb there. Yes. I mean, Rebels were... it was Evolving Rising Heart is when we got the update to Rebels. This was the... what was it called? Invasion. Royal Rebels Invasion and Hell Tuning Invasion. And that was right before we got to the GRF. Then Scorching Flame Burst. This was the best the game's ever been. So they released a card called Extra Spice, the Elite Noodle Ninja. And it was a perfectly designed card. It was really, really fun, really engaging gameplay. It had all of these different like levels to it and layers where you could like play it as an aggressive deck. They gave a Noodle Art of Roastery, which lets like boost our attack to like a ridiculous amount, where you could play both of the different Noodle Ninjas to boost your attack even more. You had like this burn strategy you could apply as well. It had a lot of different like dimensions to it. It was really, really exciting. And then Noodle Art Reboot came out as well, which is also a really fantastic skill. I think it's one of the best skills ever designed in the game. The meta overall was more enjoyable than just Draggy Sack. Very true, very true. Me when I'm unbiased. True. Kaleido Mirror, I think, was also quite a good time. It did get a little bit boring, just because this was the time of Essel basically being the queen of the game. I think it came out in Selection Box 1, which was like the same day. But this was literally like Essel in just aggro piles and Essel in machine good stuff. And that was just obscenely powerful. I agree, that JP guy made noodles a big thing. You mean Moki Moki? Moki Moki, my god. I feel a bit jealous that Parko actually got to meet Moki Moki. I'd love to have a sit down with Moki Moki. Now, I assume trying to have a conversation would be a nightmare. But I would love to sit down and have a chat with him. Julio Andres. See what he's got. Do we tribute set that? Do we just summon? Because we get a free plus. I think we just always tribute summon and take our plus. Is there a world in which we equip? Equipping might actually be the play. We can't equip, we can't equip, we can't equip. I need to remember, we cannot equip, we cannot equip, we cannot equip. We're not allowed to. The game will not let us. We'll add shooter. Alright. Pass. So he's got. Actually, he was pretty decent at English. Oh, that's good then. That's another thing. I think everyone almost in the world is good at English, as well as their primary language. But people that have English as their primary language suck at everything else. I feel a bit jealous because Parko's been inside his mum and I haven't. Holy shit, Manicus. What the fuck? Giorfio got Beaver Warrior like a goat. No, don't snipe my NA, you git. Okay, so we lose like everything here. Oh, losing NA there really sucks. Really sucks. Okay. Boost the attack of Cursed Dragon. Search up Guy the Fierce Knight. Add Polymerization. Activate Poly from hand. Are we fusing with the one on the board? No. Double from hand. Okay. We make Conqueror. Are we just going to pop the back row then? I never like it when people do this. When they just, like, pop the back... Especially, like, the negate attack's already gone. Like, I don't know what back row you're afraid of. But like, I feel like the direct attack from Conqueror of Champions a lot of the time ends the game. I think I only use Conqueror to pop back row if it's like a very imperative turn that I get a lot of damage in. Or if it is like, if that back row's nothing, I just win, so we get rid of it. I expected you to say Pluggy Sesso. Pluggy the Goat versus Invasion Rebels. Then we can bring that back. We can't do anything with that. I can crash into this. Deny something, I guess. There isn't really much else to do here. Right, we're going to summon out the Linek. We're going to activate Order. We will activate the skill and just dump. I don't know what we're dumping, mind. Probably just a Sentinel. I could summon this. It does leave it a little bit open, but at the same time, I think he's probably going to... I think leaving that doesn't matter, so we're going to swing over this. And then we're just going to crash into this. Alright, let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got. Pluggy the Goat versus Invasion Rebel. I was not a fan at that time. The Galaxy Trap that lowers 500 attack. Please don't snipe my good one again. Fuck! I tried to mind game him. Oh, it doesn't matter. It did not matter at all. I tried to mind game by putting it in the same spot as I put the good one last time, thinking that he would think that I would do it the other way around, but it didn't matter anyway. Literally, it did not matter. I was the 7 Sesso guy. I do remember that. I do remember Ray spamming 7 Sesso. Pluggy was just the best Thunder, and people didn't realize that. He saved us from heavy metal. I think back in those days, my favorite deck was probably the 7's Axel Road. 7's Axel Road was just such a good deck. I absolutely adored it. My first tournament win was on 7 Axel Road. I think it was the second win of 7's Axel Road ever. We fusion summon. Swift Gaia. Okay, well now I'm a little bit happy I didn't set my monster, I guess. The Zoid's Legacy music. I love how you identified that from just that, like, random battle theme. The Pierce is a threat, that's why I use Enforcer over Sentinel. Yep, Ray changed his Twitter profile and everything each time he got a new SRM card. Then he had a mental breakdown and went dark. Ray is just a Chad. Ray plays to the beat of his own drum and just does whatever Ray wants to do. Ray is the best version of Ray. Seven Sesso was the OG Psychics. He flipped it down to Pierce! Oh, wait. I mean, you had to do it that way, but that was almost just death. Almost death. Alright, here comes the comeback. I mean, this is just an equip spell angle, right? This isn't live. This also doesn't do anything. Even if I got the equip now, it doesn't change anything. We have to summon this. The only problem here is we have to kill this. We can't leave Siesta Torero up. Surely he doesn't attack directly now. I mean, we can't play around it, right? We can only do what we could do. Right, he has a million different things he can do, and both of our traps are in the graveyard, and he knows they're both spent, so he has nothing to fear. If he draws a Battle Tested, we lose. If he draws Curse of Dragon and regular Gaia, we probably just die from that. If he draws any kind of way to pop a back row, we're dead. There is 100 different ways we lose this game. If he draws a Siesta Torero, we are also dead. Well, we tried. We tried. The new Gaia stuff, be it pure or pile, does make it feel a bit more like OCG Rush, which is cool. Kind of. The primary difference is pile decks aren't usually much of a thing. Like, pile decks became a thing again, really, when Ryozai came into the game, and that's only because Ryozai doesn't really have enough cards to make its own actual deck. If he draws, we lose. Shit. He's so right. Did he use Poly? He used Poly before, yeah. He's already used it. Obviously, we need more decks similar to it in terms of power and consistency, but it's still a good start. In OCG Rush, my bad decks have more options. Yes. I think that is one thing, is skills really do make or break decks in Duel Links, and it's very easy for Konami to give us better skills, and sometimes they just decide not to. And it's like, oh. Thanks. Ah! Wow. That didn't go well. I think, guys, I think this deck might just be ass. I think Paco got to COG by queuing up against, like, speed players playing loner decks and shit. Like, people, like, scooping constantly. Like, don't get me wrong, we've had a couple of really good wins, but we had to get really lucky to get those really good wins. Galacteria ore been exploited by Gaia mining companies. Apparently so. I mean, we have to use Pot of Greed. Let's hope it gets us something usable. We can't equip Zyphos. We can't leave two bosses in our hand. So it literally comes down to, do we go for the piercing? I guess we do go for the piercing. I think we set this, because it's going to be a 50-50 either way. Do we want 200 damage in exchange for losing a card from the graveyard? I don't think the 200 damage is going to matter, so we'll just do this. Ooh. We haven't actually played against many of these today. The downside of this means he's going to have 100 different ways to pop our back row, which means we're probably going to be in for some hurt. Gonna try to cog while watching you? That's brave. So this is pretty much worst case scenario. So now he gets this fusion, then he gets to get it back and get another fusion, as well as boosting the attack, as well as popping all of our back row. All he needs is any Metarian piece in his hand, and he has another fusion to go. Imagine if the skill said, play one Galactica Zyphos in your deck/hand, deck/hand, or graveyard, equipping a level 7 Galaxy monster you control. What? Oh, so you mean like bypass its annoying restriction? That would be lovely. Can I play this deck if I have one Galactica Oblivion? Sure you can, little Timmy. It might not go very well, but you could totally do it. Plus, the way the skill works, you could just dump your one Oblivion and turn on any number of Secret Order you have anyway. Alright, on a scale of 1 to fucking buried, how dead are we here? I'm pretty sure we're screwed. I'm pretty sure we are, like, unbelievably just dead. Right, Gaia comes down. Again, he's popping the back row. I mean, I guess this wasn't lethal otherwise, but, like, that's another back row. How are we not dead? I feel like we should have been dead. Did he just draw really badly? I saw him, like, spin down a load of cards. He didn't use the skill to grab Polly. I feel like there was probably a lethal line that he just didn't find there. Once again, Traveler is not live. So we summon either way. I mean, I guess we summon the ore. Tribute 1, Tribute 2. Activate the skill. I mean, it basically has to be the equip. So I could give it 300 whopping attack points. That doesn't really help. Also, reducing his attack also doesn't really do anything, so I think we just set both of these. Then we walk into his trap, and then we die. Oh, no trap. Parko told me the deck you're playing is tier 0. Is that true, Tomato? No, it's actual garbage. Parko is full of shit. Sometimes I wonder if Parko exists just to gaslight the Duel Links community. He'll, like, specifically go out of his way, play, like, 600 hours of something really bad to make, and then show, like, the 6 times it was good. And be like, guys, see, it's so good. And he does this, so people will play those decks, and then he can just win tournaments with actual good decks. The restriction of the equip is so stupid, and probably only there because of the anime for added tension. I don't even think it comes up in the anime. Like, I think they just equip it. Like, he never, like, says, like, oh, I can't equip this card because he doesn't have a level 7. I'm pretty sure he just, like, slaps it down. Now, skill should say choose one monster on each field. Both the chosen monsters became the level as one of the chosen monsters. Monster you summoned level 4 to trigger... I mean, kind of. That sounds very convoluted, though. Gaia Metarian is my favorite version of the Gaia decks. Gaia Metarian is, like... It's too strong, I think. I think that's the big thing, is it's way too strong, right? A deck can be strong, that's all fine and dandy, but, like, it's too strong. Did we just live again? How are we still alive? How are we still alive? Couldn't he have just, like, made a big play and killed us there? Okay, I mean, we can normal summon. That's fine. We can... What's in our graveyard currently? We have a Galactica Oblivion engraved, so we'll go Secret Order. Galactica Oblivion. No matter how you do it, it doesn't work out how I want to, so we might as well just go Secret Order. Galactica Oblivion. I was trying to find a way to get Zyphos as well, but I think it's physically not possible. So yeah, Backrow just don't exist. Backrow cannot hurt me. Backrow cannot hurt me. They don't exist. If I just pretend they don't exist, they don't exist. Yeah, we'll take it. Alright, that's another replay in the bin, I guess. Yeah. See, sometimes it just works, even though your opponent has 3 back row. Right, they got 3 back row, you're like, there's no way this is gonna work. And then it's like, well, yep. It works. I mean, I don't really know what more to say. This deck, when it works, when it all comes together, it feels really cool. When it doesn't, which is most of the time, it doesn't feel great. And I think that is what it's... I mean, to be fair, we have, like, hard bricked 5 or 6 times today where we physically couldn't play the game. Now, a big part of that... Oh, God, it's Hikari. No! No! She's gonna style on us! 10% of the time, it works every time. I think 10% is being generous. It's like 10% of the time we straight up don't get to play. Like, we literally can't play the game. Well, the problem is, Hikari is playing Galaxy. So I think we have to do this now. No, we'll get the plus. We'll take our plus. We'll summon. We will tribute 1, tribute 2, drop the boy, activate the skill. And then to my hand, I guess I just want a guy with big attack. So I'm just going to take you. We'll summon it out to the field. And then we'll set, and Passerino. Alright. We are going to absolutely get styled on by Hikari. Let's see what happens. Zuijo! I love you! I should have played 2 Trancer. Cool, Kira. Kira can't save you. I mean, I think I'm the one that's probably going to need saving, but... Okay, we lost Force. Not ideal, but it might be okay. Trancer comes down. Trancer effect. So we have no normal monsters, so we can't use the skill by the look of it. Second Trancer. Trancer's effect. Voidvelge Requiem. Okay. Literal anime moment here. And we lose the big boy. Okay. Okay. We might have a chance. The issue here... So I'd have to normal summon a 4. Then I could get the equip into the graveyard. I really want to get the equip out, just because it's really fun. Is that the correct play? I mean, I think we do the fun play anyway, right? Like, it's fun. It's fun. Right, we're going to go Galactica Ore. Activate our skill. Dump Zyphos. Activate. Get back the Zyphos. Activate Order. Bring back Oblivion. Activate Zyphos. Equip to Oblivion. Ching! Set. Go to battle. Boosh. 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 Alright, this is the best we got. Where are the buses, Paco? I mean, if we had one more boss, like, this obviously would have just been lethal on the spot, but... The main issue we have is we're only getting we're only getting 2 draws. That kinda sucks. Because it means we have even less chance to actually find what we need. But other than that, this is looking alright. Let's see what Hikari's got for us. We are going to be using the skill, which whiffs. Set. Tribute set. Pass. Okay, so we need Heliacal Riser. There he is. Tribute 1. Tribute 2. Summon it out. Then I can summon out the Linek. So now we activate the skill. We'll grab Oblivion. I contribute 2 to get the extra 200. So if there's a 1300 defender in one of these, and I attack into it, that's 1100 already. If it's 15, then I need to get the extra boost. So I am going to do this. Tribute 2, summon this. Summon this. Activate the effect. Put this back in the deck. And then this should kill through anything. And we're fine. We did it! We did it! We managed to take him out! War 2Z! Awesome, true, good night! I don't think we saved that replay though, right? That was a replay of Hikari bricking, and nothing happened. Yeah, there's no reason to save the replay. Literally no reason at all. But we got there in the end. That, though, is going to be the last duel of today. Don't forget, everyone, there is a tournament on today. The Rush Duel Dynasty 12. It starts in about 2 hours. So nothing new. But that is going to be it for us today. That is going to be it. We are going to go ahead and raid Howl, because Howl is a really nice guy. He's playing speed. He's mainly a speed guy. But he's a really nice chap. So we are going to go ahead and raid into him. But thank you all so much for watching. We will be back again on Thursday playing something else new box related, which will be quite fun. Wait, there is? Yes, it is in the self-promotion channel on my Discord, so feel free to go in there. We are also in ad break, which is a little bit sad. We'll wait till the ad break ends. But welcome back from ads, anyone that was trapped in ads. We are finishing up for today. There is a tournament on tonight, or in 2 hours, which is the Rush Duel Dynasty number 12. So if you're interested in that, you should go ahead and sign up. It is on my Discord if you want to see that. Other than that, we will be back again on Thursday, where we will be doing some more climbing / GRF / something. We'll do something on Thursday. I don't know if like GRF, like the ladder, actually starts then. But I mean, it might have even started now. I generally don't know. No, it hasn't. Okay, but yeah, we will be doing that. So, we will be back on Thursday. Thank you all so much for watching. Let's go raid. Goodbye.
Didn't read, did he? That Rainbow Dragon doesn't do shit. It doesn't do shit. Ah, cool. I'm thinking.